So it's going to be a grand finals. Need I remind you, Lucky, that this is one for all the marbles. No sort of second tries. The only sort of backup these teams have is that it's a best of 3, so just 2 maps to take it all. They've got one sort of way to come back. No best of 5 though. Nothing like the Prem division that they're trying to aim for. So we're going to go straight into it. It's going to be our first map process out of the map picks between both of these teams that they decided before. We're going to go straight live with Shappy, and let's see if he can speed off onto this mid quicker than the opposing Deadman. Where is the opposing Deadman?
He's Moomin even his rollout. So Sam going to be taking that high ground instead. Shappy's going to get healed up as well, and we're seeing pretty even mids here. Hortz is going to go for a high bomb. Nice and early on, Lonox is fully committed in, and they've landed some good damage, but it looks like Shappy's going to get caught out across the point here. Martin also getting caught out by these red soldiers, and it's going to be Puskari trying to fight against around the point there against the soldier. Loses to Bonkers, and Blank dies. It's going to be a wipe for our first mid-turbo.
Yeah, this is why I usually see a lot more reactive than proactive on these process mids. And that's exactly what the Poles did. They just took their time and just played into the defending of the bombs, and yeah, pieces fell from there.
Indeed, they did. I mean, Wanzu and Bonkers, they had a really good mid. I mean, Bonkers won 1v1 with a scout at one point in that mid, so they're probably already feeling themselves coming into this game. It looks like they're going to be heading in towards last with a full Uber to boot. They've already capped up second, and they're going to be spotting off those off classes on that last point already. They will notice the level. Sentry gun has already been built. They're going to start leading their heals into lobby. Taking their time with this one, though, Turbo. Already up to 50% for Martin. Looks like it is going to be a 3, but they just pop it out. Dive their way in towards the heavy. Sentry gun up on the right-hand side. It's going to eat a load of damage and go down eventually. This point is now open for capture, but the bomb's coming in from the back line, and it looks like they managed to find a bunch of kills there as Shappy absolutely rinses them coming back through the 3-door. Bonk is also going to get cleaned up right at the end.
Yeah, that was just a case of failure to launch. They really couldn't get on top of the sentry gun because the stickies were bounced a bit awkwardly all over the place, and the sentry gun was bound to the demo man, and then they all kind of committed into that small little pool area, and then they just stepped from their high ground and just launched at them over on Martin and company.
Now we're in a situation they managed to cap up second. BB actually up on that sniper behind the blue crate, and they're actually going to go through IT, which is the correct push to do versus a sniper. They're going to be making their way all the way through. Everyone's healed up, ready to go, and they just pop straight through the doorway. Bombing in towards that choker. Good little jump there from Shappy, but he might just get caught here. Eats a bunch of damage there, only just grabbing the pack. They don't actually find anyone. Hawks, in fact, going down in return. So now the Polish team have a chance to shoot back, and they're going straight back in, Turbo.
Yeah, they're not even waiting on the Uber charge. They're going straight for the jugular, hoping they can just force this sort of push out whilst they're capping it. They will cap it off over on the side of Mandem, but they've lost a lot of pieces for it. It's fortunate that, you know, most of these pieces were exchanged, but with an Uber charge not even like set for the Polish team, and they've got one defending now, I don't think they're going to lose as well. Oh, they've lost Chappie on the to BB Sniper. They should have seen that coming because he never really died in the last exchange.
I mean, BB just peeking on that shot was disgusting there, picking up that frag. I mean, you know, if you're Shappy, you're going to be raging about that one because that's literally cost them the second point and a little bit more here. Grabber actually has his Uber to boot, so they're going to be ready to go in here. Dwindling down to a 30% advantage here, though.
Oh no, don't do him like this, not again. Oh, I thought it was going to die instantaneous to the sniper, but he will be spared. They're going to go in with an Uber now and actually nurse it in onto the right hand side, slow push it. They've taken out the sentry gun without needing to use the Uber. This is a good start, and they've killed Blank on that engineer, so that's a quite rare occurrence. We've got ourselves a pause.
Martin's backing up into spawn here with 92% Uber. The rest of the blue players are split between the spawn and lobby right now, so kind of in a precarious position here for the blue team. It's going to be interesting to see whether they can actually make it out into this point with those stickies in front of that right-hand side shutter.
Yeah, no stickies on point, so that is the major cause for concern, I think, on this last push. If it's going to be won by the Polish, it's going to be done really quickly on this point right now, playing the point. But it's up to Grabber to kind of take off that Uber as soon as.
Lardox is currently positioned behind. He's scoping the bomb, and he's ready for the block. So, I mean, this hopefully with Lardox bombing in, he's potentially going to die. Horns is also going to come back in through 3, so they may be able to buy some time here. Grabber's Uber only at 30% is going to wind directly down into a 0 in the next 1 second. So we'll see how long it actually lasts. I don't think it's going to last that long, but this early pause, it spells trouble for the rest of the evening here, Turbo, do you think?
We should have a pause on these mid last pushes more often. It turns itself into like a nice little puzzle game. So I do see Wanzu kind of flying a little bit in the air. Maybe it got his sights on Lardox. So maybe he's the only sort of avenue to stop that block. I don't think Haunts is in a position to do anything as well. So again, I still think this is going to be a defense come out from MANDEM, just by the fact that they've got Martin with pretty much an Uber waiting in the wings. So
this would be a really good game show, Turbo. What happens like on Harry Hill? What happens next?
I don't know. It sounds like a beta featurette already. I can hear it now, typing away at his computer. He's probably half edited it by now.
That's a wonderful idea, Lucky. Let's just plow that one through production real fast.
He's probably already got the demos recorded as we speak.
I just noticed Martin's also using the hat that I gave him at LAN still.
Nice little shout out. That's a nice hat. That is an expensive hat.
Oh really?
Is it?
It's alright.
It's got a ray of sunshine on it. How can you put a price on the sun?
It's gorgeous. I wonder what the pause is for. Do we have any inside information?
Well, we could take a guess, as always, a nice little puzzle. And usually people pause after a round finishes, so you could make an educated guess that we are on the blue side of the map. Blue team probably loses the round, and then we hit that little pause straight after.
Are you suggesting this is a tactical pause?
I don't think there's tactical. It's more like, oh no, we're going live, we're going straight to yeah, actually they're turning the kills around much quicker than I expected. They almost baited them with the point that they were trying to push, and this Uber is looking quite garbage actually for MANDEM. They can't really focus things. We forgot about BB though, but BB has not forgotten. He's got a sniper during all of that fighting, and they play it slow despite me explaining that they need to make it fast.
Bonkers with that rocket to take out 2 with the air shot. Very nice stuff coming out there from him. I mean, Bonkers is definitely one to watch in this matchup. He just seems to be absolutely insane ever since he joined Crispberg for Defense. He's just been playing out of his goddamn mind, hence the name Bonkers. Heading into our second mid here, Shappy going to be into mid. Once again, faster. It's going to be Stan with a Mooma rollout once again. Bonkers actually the first man to move the poles. So they're going to be positioning up. Haunts once again in the same position he was before, and it looks like he's going to go for a similar bomb here, actually launching himself. Lardox doing the same thing. They try and land onto Grab, just retreats back through the sewer door, and looks like Bonkers on the top of the point here. It's going to go down. BB is super weak as well, and Wanzu rebombing in, trying to find Martin. He will get the kill. And Grabber now on his lonesome though, looks like he can get cleaned up right at the tail end of this mid by Lardox himself.
Damn, these soldiers from MANDEM were really putting in the work. I mean, I'm saying that now, and Lardox almost went down to the medic, but it worked out. It's all okay, and this is probably where the pause happened, as we had a player drop. But they just played the rocks a little bit differently that time, and it just goes to show the skirmishing power on the mid could make or break a middle, and it's just turned the other way.
There we go, that's where the pause came in. We do get our players back on the teams, and it looks like we are ready to go back into this game. It looks like they're going to have all their players up and ready to go here. Martin respawning is going to be basically even Ubers here, and it's also a sentry gun being built, as well as a heavy in play, just to try and deny some of those players trying to come in to destroy that sentry gun, which is exactly what's happening now. They just got to try and spam down that gun nice and early.
Yeah, so just waiting out some time. They actually do get the sentry gun, a bit rare occurrence to see. Usually you have that engineer constantly healing it, but Lardox just has a quick hey hello and then gets a goodbye, see you later, and goes back to his medic. So we should have the Uber now. They could dot push it, but we're losing one soldier down. I can see. Oh no, they're in anyway. Plan goes ahead, people. No reason to wait, and they're spamming out the doorway, and Grabber comes out with his Uber nice and early. They're already on top of Martin now, chase him out the door. They don't even need to chase him. They get him with the door itself, and with a medic advantage up, they could definitely make a push out of this over on the Polish squad.
I mean, I do like the gusto. The gumption to go for that push is immense, so really well played there. I think actually they could have got it if they'd changed some of their tactics and actually decided to do some other things before the push and spotted out where that heavy was and actually gone for the point instead. They would have actually managed to win out that round because there was no stickies defending it. So a little bit of change here, maybe a little bit more peeking. They could have actually won that round, but we're in a situation now where it looks like Grabber's actually going to have a small amount of that to play with, roughly around 20%, but it's not a lot to play off on Process mid.
23 minutes left. Still a long time in FPS land, and one round just doesn't feel secure enough. You're usually looking for that sort of two-gapper, so you've still got...
Oh, they're going, Turbo.
They actually are, and Bonkers is just creating space for his team, so make the distraction for the PC room push, and they've got right on top of the combo. Martin ball down to 6 HP, and then finally pops it. The ball's on this man, and it's a shame that they can't really transfer that ball power to his sort of defining squad. He can't really find any sort of frags. Piscari's on the flank and gets a bit of tripping damage in. They do push them out of second, but I'm not seeing many frags past the initial sort of hit.
They're trying and flood players into this point, but I mean, it's not really doing anything here. They're just going to back off back towards second there, but Martin definitely playing out of his mind. This is why I idolize this man. He's just so goddamn good at medic and dodging things. He's so slippery, but even if the situation was again, looks like Paparazzi doesn't want to build a sentry gun this time around, so they just opted for the heavy. I'm unsure why. I really hate when scouts don't off-class on last. It really grinds my gears, Turbo.
I don't know. Once a fabled man said you don't really want to trade out that class on your best scout player. Usually you want to just have him... It's just so much more looser and kind of... How can I say this? It's open to lots of situations, whilst the engineer is good, but it's only good at the one thing it does.
Oh, horns.
Oh, he's... Oh, my.
Oh, he hit the rocket.
I mean, it's a shame he didn't hit any of the other rockets he could have hit, but, you know, what am I to judge?
I mean, poor Sky ran in as well, thinking that Haunts had done a lot of damage, but he was back to the spawn. Bonk's actually going down here on the one door. Looks like they're coming in through lower. They actually use out the super. They have to save their players, and it looks like they are going to be able to pick up Shappy as a frag, but the rest of the team have managed to flood into towards blast. Deadlock's getting picked up there, back towards the last point. Stan super weak and lower, actually getting killed off there by Martin, and they're going to try and continue flooding players in here, just to try and hold them out. I do like this close defense though coming out from the poles, just to delay them, stop them coming into last.
Yeah, it's just a real shame that the way they positioned themselves for Martin's safety, they kept Shappy away, and Shappy could have really benefited from a milked Uber on top of him. You could see Martin was trying to get to him, but it was just a little too late, and it made things just a bit awkward when it came to the counter attack.
See what they want to do on the side of Mandem now. They're just going to be poking the lobby. BB back up on that sniper. Picks off Shappy immediately. Wow, this guy is absolutely goated on the sniper class.
Yeah, he's getting quite consistent shots on this sniper. Oh, I fluffed him, but the medic is an elusive sort of head and a lot of pressure. Stan will go down during all of this. That's a big kill for a last push, so they must push off this, surely.
It looks like they are trying to make something happen here. It's just going to be Blank flooding in and just dies to an arrow from Grabber. Nice little surf there from Grabber, escaping the damage coming out from Horn. So he's going to still be up and alive at 150 HP now as he picks up that pack. And they're trying to bomb into the choke here. Bonk's actually going in. Great direct onto Shappy, but Shappy picking up that kill to Wanzu there. BB has just run all the way in, trying to get them to force this Uber charge out, but not a lot is going to come of it. And now we've got Lardox actually committing in really hard for the medic. Actually whiffs it, but they do actually get the force out of them here. And Shappy is going to receive most of that Uber charge, and they manage to get Haunts in behind with it as well. So now they have bought themselves some time and space and pieces and pawns to play with.
Yeah, Haunts has got the flank on. He has got a lot of damage done, but no sort of kills. The team was maybe hubering the idea of following up, and it's just an absolute blender between both these teams. Not sure whether either team is going to commit to either half of their maps, and a couple of crossbows later, they want to keep pushing. It's like a tag team, one damage in, one damage out, and it's slowly inching the way, but it's coming down to the line. I'm not really sure who to call it for this sort of skirmish.
I think the Mandem only just came out on top, only by a small margin. They managed to get one respawn advantage here, so they're actually going to push on it. And they're going to send Lardox in and then send Haunts in as well. Haunts taking a high ground, going for a rebomb now around the corner. Lands on top of Bonkers, and they managed to pick him off. So it's going to be an easy frag for them. Paparazzi also getting low, so he has to leave that high ground as well. So no scouts to deny the high ground. They actually use on the Uber defensively to stop anything else losing in their part of the map. But looks like blue team going to pop out their Uber just to secure this point. Paparazzi getting caught in now and is going to get cleaned up in the end by Ascari. So they're going to be able to claim second now on the side of Mandem.
It must have taken a lot of restraint out of Lardox there, not to go for the hero paying, just go into the big blob of red of Polish squad. They just went and picked off the players that they were, you know, kind of a little bit caught out, a little bit astray from the team, taking a bit of damage, and then just let the dominoes fall from there.
Wanzu. What's Wanzu doing right now? He's been
is.
spotted. He's out of there.
Was he spotted? I think he's just had that spooky little feeling. Lardox is really touring the map on this Roma class. Oh, it's actually Haunts. Haunts, he's going for the mean
He
spoon.
went for the spoon. He wouldn't have got it, but you can respect the gusto.
Yeah, it's all right. You're at push the enemy team to the last. You need to make these avenues and these opportunities happen, and this is probably the most ideal point for those sort of shenanigans. They've got a sniper back, BB, been quite consistent so far, and doesn't quite get Shappy this time around, and Shappy can breathe a sigh of relief. I think that boy would have had a magnet in his head if it weren't for that last shot.
So Puskari going to be traipsing around on sniper now. See if he can find any angles to get a pick onto this last point here. Also, BB up on that sniper, so a bit of sniper on sniper action coming up for you. Looks like they're pushing into the lobby here. It's going to be Paparazzi getting cleaned up there. Lardo's actually getting headshot down by BB, so putting the work in. Wanzu going down as well. Looks like they're just bombing all their players into towards low, just trying to go up to Martin, but they're going to lose Bonkers in the process. They lose 3. BB swaps onto Heavy as well. He needs to get over the hill rapidly
He's not in position. He's not in position. There's not stickies on point. They've actually had to put the Uber to defend the last point. And Martin actually replies now with his own, but they don't want to commit?
No, it was just Shappy, the only player that they really had available to them. I think it would have been a much better play if Martin had just left. If he had just left without using the Uber, even though he would have got forced in second, it would have been the same outcome. They would have still been holding on to second. But we'll see what happens here. They do pick up BB1G and Paparazzi here, so once again they find 3 and they get Grabber.
Yeah, but Scary came in from the flank. Lawless came in from the other flank as well, and they just couldn't beat the crackdown defense when they were trying to push second. And it's just really, really strange to see a last loss like that.
Yeah, they didn't go back into defense mode. When they had that situation where they really wanted to get out into second, so they started poking, prodding, they kept their scouts, they ended up losing 3 for it, and then their flank slipped up and they allowed Puskari to come in. That was where it was kind of curtains then. Really overzealous from the Polish team, and really good read from MANDEM to pick it up.
No Mumu rollouts anymore. Stan has actually arrived to mid on a sort of brisk pace, and they want to really challenge this top area and get the high ground off from MANDEM, but between all the air flight soldiers and scouts, I think the position is much better for the Polish squad. Yeah, they will actually back out over on MANDEM. Yeah, it just goes to show the power of the Demoman despite him losing his life there.
It's like Blank actually wants to hold on to this point. He does not want to give up the space, but we see a bomb coming in for Bonkers down to roll out. Blank actually... Oh my god, Bonkers! Leave him alone. Puskar also finds Martin as well. It's all the cards are in the side of the Polish team's hands.
Okay, well, so with a 100% Uber charge gifted to the Polish squad, this should be easy peasy for them. They don't even have heals, so any sort of damage now is going to really hurt coming into this defense. They make the push, they pop the Uber, they start putting stickies all over in the path of the point, and they are just finishing off the easy frags that made themselves available when they have to make that defense. It's an easy round for the Polish.
I think the MANDEM there did a really good job of minimizing and maximizing what they had available to them then. They peeled on that point really well to defend it. They sent in both their soldiers. Well, they sent one soldier, then they sent the remaining soldier, and then it seemed to go really well for them, and then the flood happened, and everyone seemed to be in much better HP. Martin respawning, didn't really do much, so we've still got another fight on our hands. Bonker's already taken that high ground, spamming off Shappy, so he doesn't really do too much here. Horn's now going for a high bomb as well. Lardox also following in, so they're going to be going in. Nice shot to BB there from Lardox. Just putting him into the dirt. It's just going to be Wanzu and Grabber. Once again, Grabber not really having a mid-fight whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's just the play by the Rocks just seemed to be quite detrimental after the first round for the Polish squad. It's just too easy for MANDEM soldiers to kind of play and fight and bomb them from that area. I think the first round was just a fluke, and now they're putting too much onus on playing that left-hand side over on the Polish squad.
The number one thing that's stopping them from coming in right now is a sniper and hitting a headshot. So we're going to see what happens here. Martin actually gets in clean through 5. He pops out that Uber now that he's in the sniper sightline there. So it looks like they're heading towards the point here. Blank's just going to be playing it. He does need a flash as the soldiers come bombing in for the defense.
Yeah, and what a defense it is. Not only are they getting the frags, but they're keeping themselves alive, ready for the counter push. They can make the chase here. Martin's being brought down low. Bonkers is coming up on the flank. He's the soaring shark. He's the jaws and the knife. He gets the kill onto Martin.
Wow, what a pickup onto Martin there. That's going to buy them so much now. And it looks like we've got Blank in on the flank, so he's going to be trying to make something happen here. Onto Grabber. He's not going to spot him though. He's currently standing on the sink, so unable to spot now. The medic will be called in the choke. Blank's going to be going for it now.
Back cap.
Top IT. Back cap attempt is now on.
Okay, the time is ticking, and I don't think they go. Yeah, they actually wisely go back from the midpoint. You can't outspeed that, and it's Blank versus the world, and Blank is actually doing a decent job. He gets a pick on one, and he gets the back. Yeah, he gets the cap as well, and I guess this leaves the Polish squad a bit confused and dazed. What do? Do they jump into the core of MANDEM? Do they go back for the second point? It's all a bit confusing to them, and they're all doing different jobs. Grabber just pops his Uber and just hopes that they can get something with this, but they just milk it. And I say milk it, they don't even have it, but they're losing way too many frags though. Oh, the flank area committed way too far in, despite an Uber charge being popped early.
Martin gets a ball to the face as well, so he's going to have to be retreating here. They're bombing towards Shappy. Shappy super low, actually getting picked off here. Looks like Wonder's going in for the bomb. Lands in Blank's face. Great rockets. Bonker comes in for the cleanup.
96%. Oh, they put a lot on Martin's survival there, and it hurts to see.
Oh, disgusting. Looks like the Polish team now. They're already on second. There's going to be Lodox and Haunts available for this defense, but they're just going to be backing off now. Back in towards lobby. Grabber up with 75% Uber now, so they're going to be healing up their soldiers, getting ready for this last push as we see an engineer come up for MANDEM.
Now, okay, Wanzu, he's a bit impatient, wants to get the sentry gun. That actually dies to the sentry gun in his sort of greed, and, well, it's time to keep going in for the push. Despite losing a player early, the sentry gun does an admirable job to say it was just level 1. They're setting up stickies, they put a scout on point, it's looking like classic TF2, soldiers counterbomb, and then the floodgates are open, the blue players are running over them, MANDEM are on the chase, and they want more because they've got the license to.
A paparazzi up in this top area just gets killed off, and it looks like Blank actually down to Grabber there on second. That's actually going to be a huge pick, because now it means they're not going to be able to get back on second. They just don't have the numbers. There's 5 up on the side of the Polish team and only 4 up for the attacking side. So if they kept their 5, they would have been able to push out immediately. But now it's going to buy some time for the Polish team to get reset on second and get some force attempt off / drop. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it does help that paparazzi was hiding in that little area, forces players back for just a good 10 seconds or so, and that's a long time actually to spare. And oh, nice big bomb coming out from Shappy. He even gets a bit more of that post-Uber sort of Uber, and they get the second point, just easy, but it is going to cost them an Uber charge for no frags, and it's just as easy for Grabber to come back in with his own.
No. They're coming back in with their Uber. They immediately kill Martin. Martin knew it was going to happen, but the rest of MANDEM actually stay in for way too long. They've overstayed their welcome. Blank's going to lose his life, but he does pick up Bonkers. And the rest of the team now from the Polish side are going to be heading their way into the last. It's going to be Paparazzi trying to run to Shappy here. Good pipe from Shappy just to defend himself against the scout for the time being. Puskar is going to help him out with this as well. But the beam is in play. It looks like they still haven't capped second. And Grabber's going to try and cap last with the solemn bow out. They do manage to kill off Shappy eventually here.
Paparazzi.
And Paparazzi, great meat shot, but he's not going to be able to clean up this point, unfortunately.
Oh, he might still try and commit in. Oh, no. But a lot of things went off there. I think they... there was a good sort of play by, I think it was either Lardox or Haunts to kind of delay second, and that took a spring out of the step. That means they were 1 soldier less accounted for that last fight, and I think that would have been the tide turn, especially because that 1 scout did so much work on his own.
Let's see what's gonna happen now. It looks like BB up on the sniper once again. They've been relying on the sniper quite a lot already. I mean, why not? BB's been hitting the shots, so that's why you pick him up in the first place, also to apply that little bit of pressure. Not him
again. Shappy!
Come on!
Oh, he just seems to be the whipping boy for this MANDEM squad, and BB, he's got to be feeling himself, and it's more scary the more the sniper gets his confidence in him. He starts taking those ballsier shots, and just, yeah, it's a very confident base class. You got to feel good at the end of the day to make the shots good.
Oh, great bomb into BB here. BB actually might go down here on the shutter. He's going to get caught. Blank's going to come back in for the cleanup. So they get the pick onto the sniper. This is going to open up some opportunities now for MANDEM to account sack of their own. And it looks like Blank is just more than happy to peek this choke and just see what is going on. Lardock's also getting beaten up here. Horn's trying to get in through IT, but he's just going to get shot down here. And Papa actually picks up the kill there. So they're going to lose Shappy, actually. Beautiful sticky stick. Oh my god, bonkers! Leave him alone, man!
Oof, but it doesn't help that the flank was absolutely decimating Puskari and Lardox as well. So with Lardox the first one to die, he's the first one to defend mids. I mean last. So it's all coming down to him. He will kind of generally bomb. They pop the Uber now just to kind of solidify this defense. But here comes the counter pop bomb grabber, and it should be quite easy for them to clean up there. I said it should be quite easy for them to clean up there. They're still holding it. They're not only blocking it. There we go. They actually get the point play from just fighting around it long enough. It's just too hard to not only get all the frags cleanly, but defend that point. They almost did it. I'll give them credit. That was quite scary for a moment.
Yeah, it was quite scary. I think the Polish team now, they're going to be feeling comfortable with that 2-round disparity coming into this mid-fight especially. So we'll see if Stan can actually hit the rollout. He does! He's done it, Turbo, into the next one.
I think he's not even a case of him doing poorly on the rollouts. I think he just chooses to go for the slower rollout. They have rotated now to playing the left-hand side, playing a bit more back towards the choke, and already this is going much better for them. I mean, it's not as good as you'd like it to be, where you want to win out the mid, but they are recovering much better. They're playing off and rotating their weak players much better, and there you go. They've won a mid.
I think they've already decided on what MANDEM want to do before the mid-fight even happens. They're just trying to kill Grabber. Every single bomb they've gone for has been towards Grabber, who's been hiding in sewer. Now they've swapped it up. They just sit their scouts around the medic, and easy peasy, they just find 2 soldier kills right at the start of the mid. But even Uber's now, Bonk's going down. It's also going to be Blank dying off here, so they're still trying to take this ground. They killed Lardox and Wanzu, but it is just even trades at this point, and each player's getting healed up. They actually have to use his Uber to save his Stan's life here. They're going to lose one player. And now they have an Uber in tow for Martin, but he's not getting forced just yet, only just uses as they're going to shove it towards mid.
Yeah, they could have maybe manhandled them with just the extra firepower there. 2v3 is sort of, with guys with guns, is quite deceptive, even with an Uber charge in the mix. So they're hoping to get a bit greedy, hold this middle point, and hope the reinforcements are going to be strong enough. Bonkers is trying to play a backcap play, but he's only got the 1x power on him, so maybe go for a respawn kill instead, and he's playing some lovely MGE, but they will get the midpoint over on MANDEM.
Also, we've got MANDEM actually having to leave this mid as the bomb comes in. Oh, Stan!
I'll allow it. It's that taunt. It's okay. He's jumping in, and he's going to die to Puskari, or I mean, kill himself off Puskari. But I think that air shot made it worth it.
God, Bonkers is playing out of his goddamn mind as well. Stan also with the airshot, beautiful stuff. But Bonkers, man, holy moly, this guy is definitely MVP of the match so far. See if we can keep it up here, Turbo, as we got Shappy actually by the choke as the mid-cap didn't quite go through. He actually killed Shappy again on his respawner. And now it's a full ad for Grabber, and Martin's holding way too close to this choke.
Yeah, I hope they've been counting the Ubers correctly. It looked a bit weird there. They didn't expect them to hold that close. They still had to cap midpoint. Usually a lot of teams would just kind of back off, but they played a bit greedier there, and they got a Demoman kill for their troubles. But they can just go over and kind of cap the second point. I'm surprised they're not pushing in over on the Polish squad with this Uber charge.
Yeah, I think they've miscalculated something here. They had a full Uber to boot, and Martin actually respawned on second, so I have no idea how they didn't know that they didn't have an Uber. Well, they had an Uber ad, so.
Oh wait, I think I can hear a sound in the distance. Oh, is it parking? Parking the bus, maybe? Oh wait, no, actually no. We switched the first gear and we're going into second. We've taken out Puskari and Chappy. That's some big kills for this squad, and. Oh my god, Blank is actually on a rampage in the, in sewer, and just, I can't believe it. He just, oh god, it's a real shame just to see his efforts turned around when there's just too many players on second point, and the rest of poor little MANDEM have gone back out. Shappy pokes his head out for just half a second and ends up going down again for the second time in the same fight.
I mean, Shappy hasn't had a single frag for the last 3 lives, so he's having an unfortunate one at this point. But looks like we now got the last push coming in from the Polish side, so They're going to be trying to come into last, but they back off. Try and get their respawners here, get everyone buffed up, get that Uber charge before they make anything happen.
It is an interesting game to watch, just as when you see the numbers in front of you and think like, oh yeah, this team has this advantage, oh, this team has that advantage, they should win that, and then everyone just turns into Jackie Chan holding a baby, you know, armed with ladders against 5 other guys, and they just end up killing everybody on their own.
Hang on.
Have you not heard of the phenomenon where Jackie Chan is on his own, and the more hilarious his item of weaponry is, the more powered up he is? I'm comparing.
It did make me laugh. I just pictured it in my mind as they comes in for the red team. They're going to be heading in towards last immediately with their ads. So they're able to get a bunch of damage down. Hulk's going down. It's going to be Shappy dying off once again. And BB gets picked up as the only frag here.
Hi.
But they've got Blank on Spy, which isn't going to do them any favours here. As Martin needs to get Uber charge. Only just gets it here. Furuskari is going to be leading this Uber with that Tommy Slug. Good damage, but Blank running in again. He just needs to get healed up with the rest of his team. As they're going to try and slow this down, but the soldiers coming in, they're going to be able to kill off that heavy. Paparazzi cleans up the point, and they're going to be able to cap it out. It's going to be 4-1 here. With 2 minutes 43 remaining, they're not going to be able to do anything on the side of MANDEM anymore. It's going to be GG.
Very nice kiting coming out from the Polish squad. It's a shame they were lacking a scout for that last defense, and you know, instead of the spy, because I think a bit more chasing power, they would have got a lot more frags. Well, 2 minutes. 4 rounds ahead, well 3 rounds ahead I should say, and yeah, a lot of trash time. So join in hands, ladies and gentlemen, as we're entering the trashiest of trash. We're going to watch a nice little frag fest, maybe even see some clowny TF2 at stakes, but I see teams kind of just playing on like it's normal. I don't see any sort of clown town rolling in, and yeah, they're just rolling over poor Polish.
Yeah, this is the time now for them to get their DM practice in on the side of MANDEM. Maybe, you know, do a little bit of jumping practice, this, that, and the other, get ready for the next game. I think MANDEM is actually one of these teams which is good at resetting coming into another map, so I don't feel like they're going to be dissuaded by this map at all. The Polish team were definitely the strongest team in the season on Process by a country mile. They really just smack everyone on Process, so I'm not surprised about the scoreline, if I'm honest.
It was a tight match going into it. Need I remind you, okay, it was 1-1 at the start of our little old game, and yeah, it just kind of sailed away from them. And it's promising. It's promising because again, you're expected to lose.
2-4. Sorry.
2-4. It's good. Momentum, positivity, you know, feel good feels going into your second map, which I need to go and find out what it is.
Yeah, the second map is actually going to be Sunshine. I think that, you know, on this Process map, it really did show. Bonkers played out of his mind. There was lots of really, really good individual play. They utilised the BB Sniper well on Sunshine as well. I think they used it at the correct times. When they wanted to send sacks, they just got their BB Sniper instead, and it seemed to work for them. And I think that's just one thing they've been doing their entire season. Man of the match for me by a mile so far is going to be Bonkers. He's just been slapping everyone around. It's disgusting.
If I had to give like the wooden spoon or hey buddy, it's not your fault, but you know, it's kind of, it sucks, I'd give it to Shappy, because it's just, it didn't feel like Shappy got to play this game. Like, he didn't really get activated. It was a lot of times where he would be the first one to die, and not so much due to his own misplay. He would just sometimes get sniped straight out of the gate. He would just die in these random little places and commitments that the team wants to take as well. It's just, I feel for the poor lad.
Yeah, I think Shappy is definitely one of these players where he wants to play in. And that means he's usually ahead of his pocket soldier. So he's usually the first person that's spotted, especially by a sniper. Because usually when you got a jumping soldier, the sniper has to like flick the shot and maybe lands a body shot, but that's better than your demo man dying immediately. But BB had some good positioning, I think, on Process. Like I said before, they really utilised him properly during this game. I think as sniper, he dealt 2,000 damage in 4 minutes. So 500 DPM sniper.
All right, boys, let's head on over to the mathematics, the logs, the numeral breakdown, and it's quite a rare sight. You don't see this every day, but you see it in Div 1 Grand Finals. It's a double scout, triple scout, I guess, if you count both teams, topping the charts in the damage department. What does that tell you there, Lucky?
It tells me that BB and Paparazzi had an absolute field day. Like I mentioned, BB got 500 DPM as sniper this game, so That's pretty impressive in itself, but I think they did a really, really good job of just denying Lardox and Haunts. Every single moment they tried to get on top of Grabber there, as you can see, Grabber with 7 deaths and Martin with 11, tells you a story about how these scouts were able to just deny those soldiers just that little bit better and edge out a lot of these mid-fights at the end.
I think as well there was a lot of manly fights. You know, those ones where teams are losing players apiece, and they think, oh, one team would check the math and back out and just cut their losses. No, these two teams just kept holding on, and the fights would extend out to such a damning point that some players would respawn back, come in, commit back into the fight, and then die again. And a lot of those players were the explosive classes, not so much the scouts who have a field day in those sort of fights. They just get to focus down and play off all the damage.
Yeah, the longer a drawn-out fight is, the harder it is for a soldier to maintain that 300 HP buff that he so heavily covets. But coming to the next map of Sunshine, it's going to be the same kind of story in a way. Sunshine still has this long drawn-out mid, this kind of long drawn-out second where it's scouts galore. But the soldiers should have a slightly easier time, I think, because higher bombs are more potent in Sunshine, that's for certain.
Yeah, the only sort of concession that people draw the line when it comes to Sunshine and Process is that last point ain't too popular, and I can sympathise.
I think there's some things you can do on the last point. I think teams just need to get more creative, I think, when it comes to Sunshine. Because in the grand scheme of things, right, we only got Sunshine in our season after I-63, after that amazing grand finals between Seven and Froyo, if you can remember that, Turbo.
I can't remember anything.
Cast your mind back to one of the greatest Insomnia grand finals we've seen.
I was there, and I was probably doing some important things, but the alcohol and the old man age does a wonder of things. I probably need to research it, but yeah, it's. I remember having a good time.
Definitely alcohol.
Oh yeah, that's probably the alcohol. All right, so I know you mean Sunshine is climbing the power ranks and stuff like that. I was a part of an age where Badlands was best lands, and look at it now.
In the bin.
In the bin. But it's just still a map that either you love it or you hate it, I feel like, for these teams when it comes to Sunshine, and it still needs to get its sort of acceptance like Process did. But that second point as well, I think, is kind of interesting. It's got a hard defining line of like whether or not you're going to commit in or you're going to commit out, because it's hard defending that point from an arm's reach with just that sort of shutter door and that barricade and where the doors are placed.
Indeed. I think that one strategy I've seen that I think you'd also like on this map, Turbo. Are you ready for this? This is incredible.
I'm all in.
So as everyone knows by this point, I'm a big fan of Engineer, right?
Oh, and you've lost me. You've lost me. All right, I'll give you a chance to win me back, but you've lost me so far.
So a team in Division 2. I know it's Division 2 and this is Division 1.
Oh God, we're going down. We're going
down. A team in Division 2 decided they were going to hold last. They built a sentry gun, and then the enemy team double sacked into last, which is perfectly fine on Sunshine because the respawns aren't that bad.
Fair enough.
He then moved his sentry gun onto the shutter door in lobby. So when the shutter
when you say onto the shutter, okay, I see.
Yeah, you open the shutter, revealing the sentry gun, and it killed 3 people.
Yeah, I mean, it does shoot like rockets out. So if everybody's holding hands, going for the doorway at the same time,
everything dies. Yes.
But
I want to see more of that level of creativity, Turbo, when it comes to Sunshine.
I feel like a lot of people would be quite scared of a shutter door anyway. At least I was, because Demoman exists in this game. Doorways can just be a terrifying place to go through. So, to be shocked by a sentry gun surely would be to be shocked by a sticky trap.
Very true, but the sentry gun can shoot you past where the stickies would be, so it's different.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Especially when the NG crouches like Gollum up to the door and just slowly opens the shutter.
I mean, I've seen Pyro win a grand final on this. Okay, I'm open to a lot of things now.
Yeah, I remember that. Jesus, what a grand finals that was.
So we're just having a quick little break between both of these teams. Maybe a little map talk and cigarette. It is a grand final after all, and nerves are going to be high. You kind of unlock these sort of things we don't really talk about too much in TF2, and that's when, fight or flight kicks in. You got the adrenaline pumping. It's some of the most important TF2 that you might play, well, maybe not of these guys' careers, but still, anybody's careers. This is usually a high point.
Yeah, I think that, last season, MANDEM actually got second place in Division 2. They played really well in that division as well. So I think that in this game, they've outdone themselves quite hard by even making it to the grand finals off the back of a Div 2 season. Because usually when you see people make the end of, top Div 2, they end up in mid/bottom of Div 1. But to be the team that comes second in Div 2 finals and then is now going to play in the grand finals of Division 1 is pretty exceptional.
Do you think the pressure ever gets them at all? The fact that they've got a bunch of peering eyes looking at them eagerly, will make things a bit difficult for MANDEM, or are they not sweating it?
I think for certain. I think it's really going to have an effect on these players. I think that everyone knows that when you're in a grand final, you are going to be under the nose of so many backseat gamers.
Well, let's backseat game away. We're going into our second map. It is CP Sunshine. It is the Poles versus MANDEM, and already it's traditional Sunshine. You jump first. No, you jump first.
We're like a revolving clock here, Turbo. Everyone's going to make their way around this point, and one team is going to crack, and that team is going to be MANDEM. As Lardox launches himself in, Blank launches himself in, and Horse launches himself in. Puaskari decides, screw this, I'm in as well. He dies, and everyone's dead. And Martin now going to be trying to retreat back through flowers. Actually goes back in for some reason, and now he is also going to die.
Yeah, Martin, just went a bit aggro. I guess really wanted to just die alongside his team and just go for a blank, slate reset. And that was as bad as a mid could go. I mean, despite the medic holding W for a good 5 seconds trying to die.
I think that Martin there, he knew the situation that was going to happen. It was going to be exactly the same thing.
Yeah, die now or die 10 seconds later. And
exactly. Martin's a smart player. Everyone knows this. So he does it for a reason when he does it. But looks like left side push is going to happen here. Stan's going to make his way through the doorway. Sticky's killed too, though. Shabby getting himself on the board this game.
A bit shocking because they have an Uber charge, and they, a lot of the educated tier 2 eyes, especially at Div 1, would assume there's going to be a trap somewhere. So why rush things? Why kind of go out poking your head through doorways that are quite popular for a sticky trap as well? But all right, that's cost them an Uber advantage.
I mean, usually when you see a push come in, you put the stickies top left, so if they try and go for like a 3-man Uber and it's kind of a bit scuffed, you will always kill one player. So stickies on the right hand side is a little bit funky.
No, I've seen it. It's quite a new wave, but I've been seeing it in this past season now.
I like it though. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Those sort of traps just to get the cheeky pick and just be in a position to put those stickies instantaneously on the point. I like a bit of greed, especially when you're trying to draw back this long sort of a disadvantage that you've set yourself in. That's
now
two
BB
picks.
going down. Stan also dead. The Demoman pick is pretty huge here. They're going to be able to peek basically for free on any doorway they want. So Shappy's going to make some bats here. One's just going to be jumping in, denying that space that he's going to be trying to walk into. Now the scout actually joins in here. Puaskari's going to help clean out the kill onto Wanzu. They're going to push Grab all the way back in. They're actually bombing for him, and they get the fourth.
Amazing.
Now they're in a situation where Blank is currently still on NG.
Amazingly played by MANDEM there, just playing off each other and the space that each player kind of created throughout this entire sequence. You could almost make a sort of educational video out of that. That was really nice to see. But it is Sunshine's second point, I'm afraid, and it's really hard to just get out into second and not feel a bit pressured when you're defending on that back wall.
They got Blank's back on Scout now, so they're going to have some amount of push pressure here. They're going to go for the bottom left push, kind of standard here. But Bonk is going to be bombing in once again, trying to deny that space, buying himself a little bit of time for Gravity to build up that Uber charge.
No.
As Bonkers gets a kill in choke onto Lardox. Haunts also going down here. And now in lower, Martin actually has to use out his Uber charge as well, so it's looking absolutely terrible for them now.
And they really want to just get anything out of this. They're going to commit a Scout in. They will get Bonkers, who, is like, man, who really commits of an Uber past this point? But it turns out MANDEM is that team. Stan wants to get aggressive with his own Uber, and they have popped early, but just can't really keep chasing past that shutter door. It pushes them out. The objective is secured. Actually, do I say secured? Pascari's being cheeky. He's capping it right under their noses. Will go down now, but creates a bit of space for his team to jump out, maybe attack Grabber. But
wow,
it was a grand old bait. It seems like the best player for the Polish squad there was Pascari, giving them a chance and a hope of pushing second just to lose last.
Yeah, Wanzu bombed into lobby at the peak time while Paparazzi was doing so much work out in second that they managed to jump in and kill 3 players. So it's going to be 1-0 now to the Polish side. I mean, not exactly convincing. It's kind of like the last game where it's kind of a little bit back and forth. Both teams showing that they've got what it takes to be in this grand finals, but still a bit scrappy at the end of the day.
Yeah, you successfully defend last, and then you try to push out to second, and then you fail. What have we learned? Never try. Let's go for another trying push into our mid fight, and I think both teams are going to play a lot more sheepishly now because the reactive team won that quite convincingly. So if they go for it again, Bonkers goes for the walk-in bomb. You can't hear him, you can't see him, and he gets out as well to get a heal. The style on this soldier.
Second to none here. Grabber also managing to surf back to survive, but good damage from Shappy.
He's the Terminator, he's still going, he's in pieces and he's still going.
What is with Demo Man just pushing on really low HP? Like, what? I've seen it so much recently where Demo's just, they'll go down to 50 HP, they won't go back for a health pack, they'll just go back in.
I don't think they have a health pool, they just look at the sticky counter. That's the only number they see on that entire HUD.
They don't need buffs, they don't need HP, they just go in.
Yeah,
they've got stickies.
I'm not reloaded. I just listen to the sounds and the feels. What is health?
Who needs to know that? But Horns now is actually maybe going to get caught here. Bonkers, nearly hits him with that rocket as well. Very close. But once he's bombing it, he sinks on the shutter, so they're going to push the rest of the team out here. Purscar actually getting picked up a low by the pistol from BB, so really good pick there. They still have Ad to play with, so they're making their way in towards lower now. They're going to be actually heading in through that doorway with Paparazzi in tow here. They're going to get on top of Horns really early on and kill him off. And now they're going to be on for this heavy on the left-hand side shutter, but he's going to just reset bind, and they're going to start going over to the right-hand side. Before he's now being capped out. Martin dropped to Stan. Oh god, no, that's really bad. Stan with a sword! So manly! Let's go, Stan, but now he's on his own. Actually, they might hold this.
Pascari? Oh, blank. They've actually defended it, but they milked that for so long over on Grab. I mean, I don't think they got to take advantage of much because they were just glowing outside of the base like, would you please come out to play? And they were like, no, come back when we have Uber, but they took away their Uber and still defended it.
Well, I can't believe it. I think there is something about an Uber being dropped that makes a team move at 5% extra movement speed, you know what I mean? And now they just overzealously run in, and yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, Lardox, hello. Nice bomb there, on towards BB. BB doesn't, unfortunately, go down, and the rest of the team are very weak, but they do find 2 picks here.
It's TF2 is a strange game. It seems like the thin, tiny framed scout class is like the one tanking all the damage, and the big, fat, beefy 300 HP soldiers gliding through the air and dodging everything left and right. Martin, scary plays Shappy, even scarier, and BB just can't seem to hit him. Maybe the sunshine is in his eyes compared to Process.
Stan actually getting caught out there by a pipe from Shappy, so he went down immediately. Nice rockets from Bonkers, though, onto Blank. Bonkers actually survived for so long, like you mentioned before, dancing around like a ballerina with that thick American frame. BB actually going on towards the point here, trying to kill Martin. They do. Okay, Grabber also drops an Uber on last. I thought I heard that.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
you're right in the technical sense, but he just got a saw, and I don't think it was even possible. But 1-1. That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that did really escalate really quickly there. I think that was really, really nice from MANDEM. The pipe from Shappy definitely won them that round onto Stan. He piped him and launched him to the low ground, so they were able to just clean him up there. So really nice stuff there from him.
Alright, so will they play passive? Because they realise that they can't really play aggressive over on MANDEM, and they can't really play passive. They need to keep their eyes on no, they actually lose somebody to just spam fire at the start of this mid. Good thing they turned things around on their own flank over on the Polish, on MANDEM I should say, and yeah, it's just turned into a old-fashioned skirmish and confusion as all the teams divide up against each other. Pascari pistols down Grabber, and now it's just time to defend their own medic and clean up the rest.
It's the fact that the P's, Purscar actually loses to Paparazzi. Blank is going to run for this 1-1. Paparazzi's actually winning this.
Oh, Scout, unhealed Scout versus healed Scout. Oh,
okay,
and the soldier kills. That is TF2 in a nutshell.
Yeah, respawner comes in. Lardox just going to clean up that frag as well. Also, Stan trying to set up stickies in Flowers. He jumps out though, seeing Lardox bomb in. So they're going to buy themselves some time and space here. Martin actually survived that mid fight as well. So he has full Uber. BB's already up on NG. They know the score.
Will they make the mistake of holding on to second for far too long? Maybe keep eyes on the stickies, but yeah, they're just going to waltz in over on Mandem, and I don't see too much resistance. Bonkers is going to die in lower because there's not much avenues for him to get out. Oh no, is it 2 soldiers for the price of 1? I think Blank is trying to make it so. They're already pushing here, Lucky. They're on top of the medic here, Lucky. Grabber's gone down, Lucky.
Oh no, that's not good. Grabber dying there is going to mean that the heal disadvantage is going to be way too much here. It looks like they're going to flood in with Mandem with the rest of the players that they've got. Stan, the lone survivor, can he do it? He finds one. No, that might still around. 2-1 to the scoreline.
Many times I like to say it, Lucky. People hold on to that second point. They really want it, but you just got to let it go. There's a big, defining, massive wall, and people still want to defend despite a wall being in the way.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Oh no.
Just let it go! There you go, that's all I need to say. Never mind. Next mid fight.
Your references are out of control, man. I appreciate it. Alright. It's another mid, it's another day, it's another dawn. It's looking a bit scrappier for both of these teams, and this is progress for Mandem. Oh my god, it's a party in cafe, and Bonkers was not invited. Get out of here! And they just get on top. No walking in bomb today, so with a player up, Lardox is allowed to jump in, doesn't die quite immediately, so you can maybe count that as space, but Horns is peppering them down, and now we enter the sort of skirmish blender that we were hoping for, and both teams just kind of feeling each other out. There is one more player on the side of Matt. Oh no, a blindsiding rocket coming out from Horns, and I can't believe Grabber's the first one to actually grab it.
Shappy with a pip as well to take down that scout, very nice stuff. But Wanzu is still alive in the backlines here. And also, you want to notice that Wanzu is on the wrong side of the map, so he's currently just in behind.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why they wanted to go a bit aggressive, and maybe why Grabber was the first face out of that doorway. He did not like the sight of blue. He wants to go back to his red bricks.
Back to that red brick side. Looks like they're going to be able to get their way into a second. Stand no! Overstays his welcome once again.
What
a
did
beautiful
I say?
sticky.
Let second go!
They're going towards last now, Turbo. Looks like they got this Uber in tow.
Blank is on the point because there's nobody defending any doorways, not defending the point. It's so easy for them to slip here because there's got no demo man. Let second go!
Stan hasn't heard of the meaning of letting second go, but that's going to be 3-1 as that scoreline. Really easy push there. No demo man available for the Polish team, no Uber available for the Polish team, so they're just going to inevitably lose out that last point. There's too many disadvantages to play with here. It's going to be 3-1 as the scoreline. 17 minutes remaining, and Blank is currently on 4 dominations.
Oh boy, not bad. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty impressive to say they've been losing mid-fights, and whoa, Stan does take out Horns, but Horns gets a killing blow onto Stan at the start of the mid. You usually like calls sort of an immediate loss of a mid-fight, but they flip it here for the Polish squad.
Yeah, I think it's time now for Mandem to go back to last and just park the burst. They need to build a sentry gun, get a heavy up, get just some meat classes going. They did manage to get Martin to survive here, but that's going to allow them to actually wind down this clock a little bit further. I know it's still 17 minutes, there's still a lot of time to go, but if you can just do that every single time you can. But actually they just killed 2 here, and they're going to be able to go back out to second.
Okay, well, yeah, they just... I don't know why they wanted to maybe peek for a sentry gun, get a nice push starter, see if they can catch somebody out holding second, but there was nobody holding second, so I guess they get second. You see the sort of... the lesson I'm hammering home here.
Just let it go. I think, you know, the Polish team now, luckily they are in the position where they have mid available to them, and Grabber did survive the mid fight and Martin survived. So now the Polish team can kind of dictate the pace of the game, how they want to send sacks and what their plan is. It looks like a double soldier bomb from Choke is about to occur. Bonkers on Wanzu absolutely sending it onto Martin. And Martin
oh my god, he didn't die. I can't believe he didn't die. That was really well orchestrated from the Polish squad, and it was nicely positioned. They even look like nice rockets. They get forced by Lardox, and that didn't even look like that much of an... well orchestrated attack, and injustice here in this sunshine.
Absolute injustice, you are indeed correct. Lardox is currently dead, so there is actually player out to the Polish team. They can afford to lose a player here if they do so wish, but neither soldiers are buffed, so they're going to back out, and they're actually going to let go of mid. But this is just going to be a driving force now for MANDEM to really get the roll going in towards second. So they're already moving them through Cafe. Blank is going to spot out the stickies. They are currently on the window. They do get cleared up as well. And Stan is just going to try and slow them down for as long as he can. But will they let go of second this time around?
No, they don't want to give it up for any reason. They do lose Blank, who didn't quite get the memo for the rest of his team. Maybe they're still checking the sticky traps. You know, those traps that you already checked for. They pop off Uber over on second point, so this is actually, you know, going against the rule of the second point. They have overcharge now for Grabber and company, and they can keep chasing with this, and I don't believe it.
Wow. MANDEM though, they kind of actually screwed up there. They really shouldn't have used that Uber charge. They could have afforded to drop a player, but they decided to go for the Uber. Now they're in a position where it's going to be Grabber getting bombed, but Grabber just surfs it off. 69 HP to his name, so he's going to be able to hold on to that. And they're going to continue this push.
Yeah, they're hoping to just get some people in behind, I think, to force out this Uber from Martin, but Bonkers is having none of it, keeping tabs in the right place at the right time. Paparazzi sneaking into a sneaky way, but they have accounted for him, and that's bought a bit of space for his team to get a second point.
Now they've got the second, once again in a position where they can kind of dictate the flow of the game and see what happens. I think they're just going to go for another double sack. Bonkers already spotting it out. They will see that sentry gun being built. Actually, no, they get off for the pyro. They get the pyro.
Oh, I guess I want to defend the sentry gun, just anti-spam class.
Blank's been doing his NG theory. He builds it on the low ground so it can't get spammed. Very nice.
Oh, I always love it when an engineer goes against the grain. They want to do their new kind of cool, neat spot.
Oh, Shappy, no! That's really bad. He dies to Stan laying some stickies, and now Wright is completely free. Lardox is there on his own, and he goes super weak here. Actually gets killed off now. 3 are dead
and,
to MANDEM.
And the theory sentry gun spot, it's completely defenseless because that one side was busted open. They're actually having it. They pop Uber, but they can't even reach the point in time. 5 times cap. They've got a round back into it and maybe a way back into the game.
Somebody dropped some question marks in chat. That was absolutely absurd what just happened there. Losing 3 players. I think Shappy really should not have been peeking that top door until that sentry gun or that dispenser are constructed. Just playing defensively for a little bit and not peeking is really the way to play this game sometimes.
I like the way Stan sets up a mid. He doesn't even go for early sort of damage. He's like, I want to just live. Okay, I died first on the last one. I'm going to set up some floor traps and just start living. They go aggressive on the Polish squad. A bit uncharacteristic to say all their mid so far, and I can see why it's uncharacteristic. Nice little sort of ending little meme to cap off our mid, and Stan will be the last one to die, so I guess strategy work. He didn't die first.
Lardox and Horns had an amazing mid right then. That was what they needed. They launched really hard into Martin on the Polish team. Martin hit a really nice surf, hit a nice little pirouette in the air. Died to a scout, unfortunately, but that bought them enough time to be able to counter bomb and get the counter frags they needed. And now they're out into second here. Their heals aren't quite here yet, so the Polish team do have a window to repush, and they are trying to make it happen here. Wanzu is going to be heading in with Paparazzi. They take the ground onto second, but looks like so much cap time has been played that Puaskari does not want to let go of second, and Stan is just now boxing them into Cafe. Blank is going to get picked up in choke here. Puaskari also dies, so no scouts available now for the blue team is going to mean that the Polish side are going to be able to repush this.
Have you ever rocket jumped away and just happened to get a casual scout kill that you didn't even know was there? Bonkers does, and Bonkers did, so... well... Okay, so I'm just still a bit gobsmacked. I'm like saying let second go, and now they do nothing but hold second with all their might, despite any sort of disparities and, you know, ground loss. So who's here holding the wooden spoon?
I'm holding the wooden spoon. I feel like I've been pantsed by this 3-2 scoreline. I did not see this coming, to be honest.
Oh, speaking of not seeing it coming, thank God stickies don't hit invisible things.
Oh my god.
No, yeah. he spotted him, he saw him, and now it's time for the walk of shame. Not as you and I know it, but it's the TF2 one, all the way back to respawn. Actually, maybe have another go. Okay, now that is the teleportation to of shame. Insta-sniped by Wanzu.
They decided that BB should stay on the scout class. I think that's pretty wise. But once again, opting for the sniper because they feel like they want to slow down the game. I'm not sure what it is, but BB actually picks up Lolox and Choke. Keeping on the scout was a great idea. Bonkers getting directed in grass though. In the flowers area, so Paparazzi going to be W King into Horns. He should not have taken this fight. He dies for it, but he looks like Martin actually had to use Zuba, and Headshot comes up from one zone to blank, and now it's disaster zone for the side of MANDEM. They're going to lose Shappy as well. No!
Oh my god, this is literally going from bad to worse, and everyone keeps going in. They can't help themselves. It's Saber friend syndrome, and the friends keep dying one by one. They keep respawning and then dying again. They have to hold the ground here at the door, but it's an Uber charge. It's invincible. It's impossible, and they have to make it work. And the frags are just falling way too much towards the Polish squad. Wanzu's having the time of his life. It's like, wow, I'm not getting any pressure. I'm just clicking on people. This is really great.
I feel like that was the problem. Like, they should have shot at Wanzu or bombed him or done something. He was in an awful position on flowers for such a long period of time that I thought, this guy's definitely going to get bombed. He's going to get bombed. He did not get bombed, and they end up losing for it. So, losing too many picks on second, it just gets rolled up into a last, and that's just kind of how it rolls out on Sunshine.
Oh, how tilted are we feeling if you're MANDEM right now? You've just got a solid lead in this game, and it's just slipped between your fingers, and now you have to work just that extra bit harder. And I don't expect any team to go aggressive here. I think they're going to just slowly walk out, and yep, actually they exchange both soldiers finally, but I think both of these teams have them under control. And my god, actually, oh no, it's much worse than I thought.
God, Martin got pickaxe. That's when you know stuff is getting rough now. But Purskari, he's not letting go of the spin. Blank's not letting go either. And they both died. Never mind. They do manage to get the frags on the rest of the team here. There's going to be 2 late spawners, 13 seconds remaining for those 2 scouts. But the Polish soldiers are going to need 10 seconds to come up and get buffed. Full ad now for Grabber, heading into this last point. 3-3 the scoreline, 9 minutes remaining. If they get this round on the board, using the super advantage, they will be in the lead here, Turbo. And on match point at that.
It's scary stuff. They're putting a lot of hopes and dreams into Pskari on the sniper, but I don't think they're going to be pushing from that left side. I think they've really been sporting that low. Okay, well, I've just looked like a fool now. But so we pop in early to avoid the sniper. They try and get on Shappy, but Shappy rotates the spawn quick enough and gets his full health and HP back. They're playing the point because that's all that's available to them when everybody goes into their little hidey hole and everyone's come back out of it and trying actually to turn things about. They do have a heavy weapons guy. It makes it really hard to make these comeback fights and these slow sort of fights pan out. And Grabber, what is he doing?
Grabber is doing Grabber things. Don't question him.
They're letting him live for longer. He actually hits the suicide key because they've realised...
I don't think he had a suicide key. I think he opened console and had to write kill in the console.
I hope he wrote a reason why he had to do that as well, like a, you know, like a little essay.
Yeah, like, good lord, it took a little while
dear
to
console, I am sorry. I should have not made this play. What was I thinking? Die.
There you go. Perfection. That's what I would write as well most of the time. But that was a really, really nice hold from MANDEM, actually. They peeled really well. They actually flooded out to the right-hand side as well, but Paparazzi up with the spike.
Pskari, he plays Highlander. He heard a spike on Cloak on midpoint, and now that's, in a way, that's one player down for...
oh my god, they all nearly died to stickies, but they were only just outside the radius as well.
Yeah, staggering down. Pick a door, any door, it's yours, Lucky. We're walking in through left, and we've actually stopped Wanzu from rotating the spawn. They've got a scout on point. They've got nobody to really address him, and that spy is like...
Wow.
Sorry, guys. Let me just get to the spawn. Thank you.
Just like that, it flips in the other direction. 4-3 the scoreline, 7 minutes remaining. MANDEM somehow go from a last defense, pushing all the way across to the Polish last and winning the round. Now going to be ahead in this second map here on Sunshine. Can we get to a third map?
Oh, let's see if we see any spies being run. But it's 6 minutes left. That's a long time. TF2 can be a snowbally game, and I can expect at the pace of this game, we're going to get a few more rounds, actually. Haunt, he's playing the long con. What perfect timing He goes around, he gets massive damage and kills just about everybody. The timing on this man is impeccable.
Yeah, I was waiting for this mid fight to happen actually. The Polish team, what they're supposed to do when you come into mid and you're actually going to play on the enemy cafe is you should peek someone into cafe to see if that roamer is there. They didn't do that, so they actually
he was deeper. He wasn't in the initial cafe. He was even deeper hiding.
He was deep. He was deep in cap. He was layers upon layers on that mid. Anyway, that's what he's supposed to do, but they end up losing it. I guess that was really good communication from MANDEM there, calling when the medic was in front of the doorway, so able to just send it.
Bonkers, hello? Where have you gone, buddy? Oh, there he is. He's like, oh, hey, guys. Sorry, I've come back from the loo. What's happening? Oh, God, you're not my team.
He's gone to get dinner from the cafeteria. But the last push is coming in here with the soldier Uber into the sentry gun. And they only just killed the gun. BB actually up on the pyro resubs and goes back onto Scout. Paparazzi also going to be doing the same thing, getting healed up by his medic right now. So Bonker's going to be bombing in towards Shappy here. Shappy actually not from that high ground. Bonker's super weak here. Can they clean him up? He actually gets a kill onto Martin while the rest of the team fades and dies. And it is going to be everyone wiping here on the side of MANDEM. A really massively failed push.
I mean, despite the little bits we just did, but Bonker's actually paid off there with the random flank from right behind and gets the soldier pick, stops the Zeraman really pressuring the people he wants to pressure, and gets a medic pick at the end. Oh, nice little snipe coming out from Blank, blindsiding them there.
And so they're going to continue their way in towards mid for the Polish team. They're just going to clean up the high ground, make sure they're all in. They actually lose Blank on that doorway as well, over peeking the shutter. BB, it's going to catch his respawner and all of this, and Grabber has full Uber to boot, and Martin at a measly 30%.
It's going from bad to worse, and they're just throwing in wrong players at the wrong time. To say they had perfect timing on mid, it's not really so perfect on second.
Well, it's now up for MANDEM to have another good last defense. Martin actually has been building his balls off and is at 80% Uber right now, so they are going to be able to get this Uber for the last defense. But the Uber comes in for the Polish team. Looks like they wanted to go in here. Martin does manage to get his Uber now. So now the blue team going to be running in, saving all of their players for this Uber. They lose two on the side of the Polish team. Box the Paparazzi going down. They're also going to lose Grabber on the low ground, who committed in to try and save his teammates. BB now on the top left gets bodied by Purskari. And Wanzu actually into last on Martin's face. Martin is the serve. And
no, the air shots. But thank God there's gravity. But it just looked a bit weird to see Grabber and I don't think it was Stan, but somebody just kind of picked the wrong door to back out of. I think they really just dropped onto the floor, and then they were really committed. Chappie getting a random paparazzi kill.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that Martin pick has now bought them second. They just have so much collective HP. Looks like Horns trying to get on top of Stan, but he just doesn't have the buff to help him out here. So Horns is actually just going to die to BB, who just denies him completely. Lodok's going to be bombing in as well. They're just trying to salvage this onto Stan and BB. They managed to clean them both up. A bomb into Grabber. It's actually working for them right now. They get their respawners and they flood in. Really nice stuff there from MANDEM.
I think they committed in onto that soldier bomb earlier. From Stan, but Stan wasn't that too injured. I think it just goes to show that if you just have the team coordinating in for even no damage laid, Paparazzi going for a back cap and actually gets stops a lot of players, brings back a lot of heads as well, and they decide to not play it greedy over on MANDEM, and that is the correct play because I think they would have lost that.
So they're going to be heading their way in towards the second point now for MANDEM. They have a 90% Uber available for Martin, so they're going to be able to have this Uber before last. They do leave one scout to cap. There's no threats of anyone going back for him just to stop this cap. So they're just going to flood in here. Left-hand side is the call, and it's a really good one at that. They're just bodying this doorway. There's so much juggling. They actually lose Blank on the Uber. It was so hard for them to get in, and now it's Mega Scuff. Lardox is going to die immediately, and they need to Delta split back out of this last immediately here. Paparazzi floods down to try and kill Martin. Martin actually slips away there, picks up a health pack. He's going to be retreating back through flowers as well, so he's going to be able to escape all of this. And Shappy now going to be bombing in to try and join his medic, but looks like BB is currently on the chase. Shappy with a really nice bomb, kills off BB, and they defend Martin.
That was a lot of players thrown at the wall there to defend Martin, but it works out. But I mean, there's not really too much salvage from it. Keep in mind, Martin uses Uber, and in that post Uber, he's got really nothing on him to contribute to the game apart from these heals to the reinforcements. But those were the reinforcements that died trying to save him.
Looks like now we got a bomb coming in and around from Onesie. They actually kill off Lardox. So that's actually okay if you're Mandem here. And Grab actually down to 62 HP, eating up the damage.
The back caps, not just one cap, times 3 cap, baby. Onesie's got a lot on his plate. He actually gets the kill onto Piscare, kind of a little shocking. And they make that soldier disappear.
Oh no! Onesie's out of ammo. He couldn't help the team, and they actually gonna have to trade off these Ubers. But Paparazzi in behind kills off Shappy. Really, really nice flank from him. But Haunts is still at large in the back lines. The 2 respawns of Bonkers and BB come in here. He's gonna go back
the back cap. Okay, Soldier MGE. Oh no, it's crashed by a scout. He's still living. He's still a pain, and he's going in. He's taking health packs. He's hoovering up health packs, and he wants to continue fighting.
Meanwhile, in the front line, the rest of the Polish team have no health at all.
Oh
I'm just seeing half HP on every single player.
4 HP does actually go down, but it's now buff players going into the jugular, and they still die, believe it.
Looks like Blank is still in behind. He could go for the back cap here. Actually, just going to be opting to go into Flowers here. 20 seconds on the clock. The Polish team have actually called GG, even though it's doable. They're just going to be running at them right now. They need to get some cap time down right now if they're going to make it happen.
Oh, no, Stan's
they're trying, but Stan's
Oh, the boss! He hits him! He hits him in the cranium with the porcelain. It hurts the soul, but I think they haven't got enough time because Horse has just blocked the point. Oh, what a close one. What a nail biter and what a match. It looks like we're granted more TF2 this evening, Lucky.
We are going to a game 3, which is going to be Granary here. I mean, that map was really good, really back and forth. I think that the Mandem really had, like, they were on a roll for a little bit, it felt like. I think Shappy had a much, much, much better game as well.
Much better. Let's go to those logs. Let's see if those logs agree with us here, Lucky. And oh my god, somebody's activated. Somebody's playing the game. Somebody's not getting headshot about 5 times in a row. It's that Shappy kid.
Yeah, I think that we haven't really seen MMM pop off on Sunshine. But Shappy really did. He put in the work this game. He played really close to Martin as well. And that's reflected in the heals. He actually received 31% heals that game. But by being in the same position as Martin, you're always in the correct position pretty much. So I feel like he just had a much, much better game. Supported by Blank as well, who at one point had 5 DOMs to his name. So 30 frags for him in that match as well. So those 2 players combined were just an unstoppable killing force in the combo.
Yeah, it was kind of a clowny game. I feel like there were some rounds lost between both teams that were just like uncharacteristic. Ones that didn't even feel hard fought. They were just kind of free throws for both of the teams. So I feel like someone's going to start looking at the VOD here and really kicking themselves for some throwy gameplay.
Yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen in this game. I think Stan had a bit of a... Despite his good damage in that game, Stan did aura damage, but he got picked off a lot in second. Like you mentioned, they just couldn't let it go. And I feel like that actually cost them the game in full.
Yeah,
just Stan dying on second. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, it hurts, but they've got one more map, and, you know, maybe they just really wanted to make it close. A nice, entertaining end to our Season 39, so I'm all for it, you know? What is a little mistakes here and there if it makes for good TV?
Good, very true. Coming to Granary, I have one player on my mind that I think...
Does it begin with a B?
It does begin with a B.
Does it end with an Onkers?
It does end with an Onkers. Bonkers is going to go mad on Granary. Like, the team with the better soldiers always wins on Granary. Now, I don't want to throw Lardox and Haunts under the bus, but Bonkers is literally insane.
I mean, I feel like the projectile class, I'm going to say it. I think the soldiers from Mandem did better work than Bonkers in that last game.
You think so? I felt like they were more comfortable on Sunshine.
I felt like they were causing a lot more chaos. Bonkers was just kind of getting the freebie kills, like the kind of, oh, there's a scout just walking into me through door. Thank you. I mean,
thank you. Easy peasy.
But Lardox and Haunts, they were just getting these sort of sheepy, random ass kills from places, random ass forces, defenses on second point, delaying things, kind of tide turning stuff. Whilst Bonkers just had he had some, just not as many.
Indeed, I think Puascara is also going to be warming up his sniper as well. One thing that we don't talk about when we talk about Granary is how flat it is, and that makes it really, really, really easy to just hit headshots because the map is so flat. Because you only have to aim at the same level, and then you just hit headshots.
Yeah, what brings all the balance to forward is there's a lot of hard corners. You have to really commit in if you're a sniper, so that's why it's a bit hard to find those certain spots and get a sniper running in places. You know, lose by the corner, die by the corner, I suppose.
Yeah, live by the corner, die by the corner. But it's like, as well, I think Domen do have a nicer time on this map as well. It's mostly just holding shutters and bombing on last points, but I think Shappy, off the back of that game, I think MANDEM are now going into this game with some gusto. You know, they're going to be running into it with a little bit of ego now in hand. They're going to be W keying across it, and that's why I have my faith in MANDEM actually for this game.
Oh no, I feel like Granary does kind of support a reactive sort of team, and I feel like that's a lot more of their style for this Polish squad. So I'm gonna back the red team. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, well, if you were to do it on paper, right? If you were to do it on paper, the Polish team have basically played Prem before. All right. So the team that wins this is supposedly going to be put in the Premiership division for next season.
You can't start hitting me with star power here. You've got some names here on MANDEM.
You do have some names, but what I'm saying is they're not exactly. I don't think MANDEM are exactly the underdogs. Coming into the season, I think MANDEM were actually the favourite to win Division 1. But like I said before, the Polish team had a little bit of a wind-up session and ended up being one of the strongest teams in the division. So
I think this entire game will come down to the mids. If MANDEM can get the mids in order, I think they can start snowballing things and kind of controlling the game from there. But if the mids don't go their way, they have to go their way in a strong way as well for MANDEM. Otherwise, I just see them, the Polish team playing off the defense aspect of Granary just a bit better.
Very true. For you and ladies and gentlemen in the chat, you can also predict with your channel points and predict who you think is going to win, and you can win some channel points, which are basically useless.
Whoa. You can highlight your message, so your meme just looks really pops.
Really pops out there.
Yeah, I did one about the other day about...
What funny thing would you write in the chat?
The other day, I copied what Captain said about someone really going off hard and fast. I thought that made me chuckle.
Rahmed's just laughing. Just sympathy laughs.
Child.
Anyway, we are going live here, guys, for Granary. It's going to be map number 3 in this best of 3 series. So this is going to be a best of 1 now between these two teams. Whoever wins this is going to be taking away the grand finals.
All right, we've got a top rollout from Shappy. We've got a lower rollout for Stan. They're completely ignoring each other, like all Granary maps, and it really comes down to these big boy bombs. Who gets the stronger bombs? Who gets the stronger defenses? They start off on the high ground for Martin. I like this play. It's really anti-air, and going down the steps one by one, and it's a strong mid for MANDEM. Just
Shappy is now feeling himself. That's how you know. He just hits an air shot on the first mid. Now BB and Paparazzi going to be trying to bring to find Martin.
My God, they do it!
Wow.
Okay, I'm shocked. You never see 2 scouts enter with combined HP of like 100 and then still walk out of there with a medic kill. 55, my stat man tells me.
my stat man. Oh, they lose Blank and Puascara. Why does this keep happening? Losing both scouts here. A little bit scrappy. They're going to lose mid because of it.
It's that Granary thing. You start turning around corners, and in this map it's tightly packed. It's hard for a scout to operate.
So they're going in through this far right-hand side door. No bombs coming out. Lardox tries to go for it, but just meets Paparazzi. So unable to get the distance in, but looks like we're going to have a bit of a reset mid-fight here. Grab still doesn't have Uber, wants it going down here. Lardox fully commits and goes in, dies. Puascara also fading away. And Haunts is also going to perish as Stan finds the pipe. BB is on the chase onto Martin, so now nothing else matters as Martin is eventually going to die. But Grabber actually gets forced on mid, which is the saving grace because Blank can save the day.
It was kind of weird to see the Polish squad push in, but they look like they're the ones defending in all of that. I guess they do have that uber charge to lose and would rather trade a lot of players for that uber charge, but We're losing Martin. That takes out the kind of crisp ingredient to that formula.
Indeed it does, but Martin dying here is going to buy a 30% advantage for Grabber. Now we do refer to Granary as the 7-point map occasionally because they've actually won the mid and they've taken Yard, which we consider our 7th point. So it's going to take them a little while to be able to bust through onto second, get out of this Yard, get second, and then push on to last. It's quite the arse, but they do find Lotta, so it's a good start.
That was a nice sort of little playoff there. The scouts kind of reeled back on the leash, and as soon as one soldier hits a rocket, they let go of the scouts and start chasing them kills. And look how it snowballed. They've gotten in behind because they really didn't expect that. They wanted to hold on to second a bit longer. Bit of sunshine peeking its head through on Granary here. They will pop off Uber, but they haven't got enough bodies to defend it with. They take out the medic, but that's not really a crucial part for this last defense. But 2 scouts versus a sticky trap is not a nice combination. They will get the first round easy for Grabber and co.
I like how after all of that they have a good scrappy fight. I mean, they didn't manage to kill Martin. They did lots of damage. They killed off the players that weren't attached to the medic. Martin got his Uber, pops it out, and then Grabber just whips out the porcelain and is like, "Come here, lad."
My job here is done. It's time for me to die. So we're going for another mid. Stan rolling out top, Shappy rolling out bottom. Actually, they've done a bit of a Uno card reverse. I'm sure this was the other way around last mid. Oh well, okay, so it was a better mid for MANDEM, but they're playing very, very passive over on the Polish team. And look, it's playing off in dividends now. Now they've got the numbers on their side, they can just snowball it from here. They could keep chasing. They have got the power, but Stickies make this a bit difficult, so they're playing slow for now.
This is interesting. The Polish team, they've got these 2 soldier picks. They move directly onto left yard. They want to force them back out to last off of 2 soldier picks on a mid. This is really efficiency 101. And they actually have to take an Uber trade here on the side of the blue team. I think this is a good Uber trade to take, but Grabber was so far back that not really in a position to make any counters happen here. They actually lose Martin here, which is huge, because now the remaining players on the blue team, no bus available. There might be a last push coming our way.
Alright, I've got a bit of a question mark about that Uber coming out from MANDEM there. I guess maybe they theory crafted that they would have had the Uber sooner just because they were taking a lot more damage, being pelted from behind. So if they go for like a little dot push and go straight on top of Grabber, maybe, just maybe, they might catch them with that Uber. But Grabber gets his Uber and things go out to like the worst possible timeline.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw that coming because of we get to see the Ubers from a third-person perspective. But I think Martin would have been in the same headspace as you mentioned, thinking that they had a small advantage to play with. But Grabber really nicely actually backed off back in towards the point, so they had to cover quite a distance. But the Uber comes in now for the red team, landing on the gun. They killed Blank and the gun with the same pipe there. They killed Puaskari. Lardox is in big trouble now, and it looks like they're going to start playing the point. Holds at the bomb. He lands on the point, misses everything, and they're going to be unable to defend. It's going to be 2-0.
That is the squeakiest, cleanest Uber push of Granary I think I've ever seen. Like, what was that coming out from Stan?
Yeah, Stan that was disgusting. He landed all the pipes he needs to land.
That wasn't disgusting. That was clean. I could eat my dinner off that. That is like just pristine.
So shiny and amazing.
Yeah, nothing disgusting about it. If anything, I feel disgusting. Oh.
Gross, eating off the floor basically. Another mid fight's happening. It's going to be our 3rd mid of the game already, which you don't usually see on Granary. They're not taking it slow on either of these teams, but no coordinated mid bombs coming out. Bonkers once again walking across the floor on this mid, but having to jump all the way back to his medic, and that's going to allow Lardox to bomb up onto the lamp, and they're going to land in their bases. Good damage from MANDEM. BB's going to get caught in as well, it looks like, but can he do anything? He's slipping around, eventually lands on a roller and dies, which is going to allow MANDEM now to push in towards yard and maybe more.
You're probably wondering, what is the count as a passive team playing the mid? And it's just like that. Just hold back your jumpers initially and just have them just wait and slowly hang themselves from just playing it patiently, losing the ground that's being stepped upon by your own team in the meantime, and then just play off the calls instead. Be the one to follow up the damage rather than the space maker.
Indeed. There are stickies currently above the right-hand side. Shutter for the blue team, and actually the red team. They've got them on the ground, and also the sniper up on the left-hand side shutter from BB as well, like I spoke about before. This point is actually incredibly flat, so it's easy to hit these headshots on snipers. So, also got the heavy on the pipe, not opting for an NG this time around. I think it's smart, because if you get an NG, it's just going to get spammed.
It's it's still a seventh, like a pseudo seventh man on the server though. It's a lot, even if it's not great, it's still summit. But the two soldiers, the ones I call better than bonkers, and they're on top, and they're not getting grabber.
How does he not use?
That was like a really scary as well. Dropped on top of his face. There was like a good 4 rockets that popped off. He just trusted that they wouldn't airshot him, I suppose. Wasn't even looking at them.
There was a window where he could have hit it, but he fired his rocket too early, not expecting to get juggled. So, different situation. But blank going down here in lunchbox. But the spam class is still up. I mean, losing a shot, not the end of the world on this second.
Oh, 1-0.
1-0. Oh, God.
Somebody doesn't place. They can't get to him. They stabbed him. He's made of ice now. The Iceman cometh. They kill off not only the demo man but the medic as well. That's a times 7 cap. It's time to get past the 7 point and all the way to midpoint. Haunts is up, but he's only one man in a Granary map. Is the 1 times scary looking.
Oh, that is terrifying. 1-2 now is going to actually remain on the spy class.
Are they going to block the point? I think they need 1-2 on the point. Yeah, they're actually blocking it. They've got nobody going back for that 1 times cap. It's slowly inching away. They actually have to fight. And it's a soldier. Haunts wins it. He goes for the second point. He gets it. He's back at last. There's nobody defending it. A victory lap here for Haunts.
And that is just absolute karma from continuing to run the spy. If they hadn't continued to run the spy, they could have had a roamer who would have been back closer to the spawn to block that last. It literally came down to that.
I think if the spy was capping the point, it would have been better as well. Because
it would have been. If he'd done anything other than what he was doing, it would have been fine.
He got a good view of their ass getting kicked. That's all they had.
Next mid fight though, 2-1 is the current scoreline. Looks like Chappie though, he's on super low HP. He needs an arrow desperately at the start of mid. The ball flies in, nearly hits him in the face, he receives an arrow, there you go.
Oh well, that is delayed a bit of positioning, a bit of like pre-fire in the fighting gameplay of this midpoint. BB, first one to maybe go across for his team, but nah, Psych, I'm just playing it defensive. There we go, we take out Lardox, we baited in the kill, we even kill Horse as well. That's your entire hand shown here, Mandem. Martin, he's trying to take the chariot out, but the chariot has other plans, and oh, they've all gone down, and it's a long respawn queue for poor Doc Martin.
Unfortunate there for him, and Grabber already has his Uber. They've got times 4 in second. Only 3 players have spawned. No! Okay, it's fine. There wasn't enough stickies on the doorway for them to get a bunch of kills. There were a lot of going to be bombing in towards Stan, just trying to kill him off. Nice pipe.
That was nice. That was like a get out of the way pipe, not even a killing pipe. So they pop off Uber pretty early, and yeah, they're just trying to clean up what kills they have. They can't seem to find the players though, can't seem to find the help at all. And look at these soldiers actually clean up the frags.
You want to. Come on, man. You don't go for those. He tried to go in for a saving grace onto Martin, but Grabber's actually going out through drop down. Very clever decision there, but Shappy also on the chase here, trying to find it. Gets arrowed in the face. He's going to have to back off.
Oh, actually, okay. Oh, because of the new respawn door, I think that's actually better for them. They wouldn't have got the forward respawn kind of spawn camped as much. So that's a bit of kind of butterfly effect. Oh, we go for a meme spoon. There's a bit of a slap fight in the ramp room, but Grabber's going to win out with his compadres, and I guess committing for too long. I just see a bunch of dead bodies.
Yes, it's lots of Mandem corpses being littered all over the battlefield right now, but Grabber only with 44%. Martin's actually at 95%, so if you can live for a little bit longer, he'll get Zuba. He actually uses.
Yeah, because the sniper, BB, was breathing down his neck, and Stan is being chased by the whole party. And Scout's just committed in. He is going to pay for his insolence, and maybe they could get a second point. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, using out that Uber there. I think maybe in that situation, you just show a little bit of disrespect, you know, because you really don't want to use that Uber, because now they're in a situation where Grabber actually has his Uber available, so they're going to be running in here. They're just going to be chasing in with Paparazzi, trying to force them out to the second point. The capture is about to go through as well, so they're going to start committing into last. They stick off this right-hand side shutter. They put a scout on the point, ready to cap it out as soon as it comes unlocked. It is now unlocked, but they do not have the remaining team in. They still have this BB sniper, so it's looking rough for them here, but they do get the damage down. These soldiers finally committing into this point. On top of Martin, they kill him off. Blanks low on the pipe as well. They kill off Shappy as well, and it's going to be 3-1.
I want to know the kill count of this bust here. It's racking up. It's almost hitting double digits, but I feel like if they ran a heavy in that little post fight there for Mandem, it would have been a different story. That's the kind of scenario heavies dream about, where you just come out of the spawn, you're big, you're beefy, and you just start mowing people down with your 5 HP shooting gun thing. And yeah, but they didn't. They just ran a scout instead, and here we are.
Here are indeed another mid-fight to boot. Actually, Shappy getting hit with a ball there. He's going to start bleeding, so he does get healed up now by his medic and gets health back, so he's going to be just fine. But Haunts and Wanty taking a 1v1 in the back of Garage off of this mid is going to result in no one getting anything done whatsoever. BB going down here, Postgari, Lardox and Paparazzi all dying, so it's 2 picks apiece here. Wanty also going in as well. Picks up that health pack, but he's just going to die in a corner, it looks like, and eventually gets pistol down. Nice pistol shot from Blank Action top the crate.
I'm liking the muscle memory coming out from Mandem. They just think to themselves, when would be the most awkward time for a soldier to fight me right now? And it would be just when the post sort of jumping and trying to play off the damage of the soldiers, and they just quickly turn around, deal with the soldier, and then go back to fighting.
And now we've got a situation where we are having our first Granary stalemate, it feels like. We haven't really been in this situation yet, Turbo, doesn't feel like.
Well, if you're the Polish squad, you're pretty happy because you're 2 rounds up. This is just fine for you.
Yeah, we talked about this before. 16 minutes remaining on the clock, so it's quite a long period of time. But anything you can do to slowly bite off time is also good. But they kill off Lardox and top. Horn's actually getting arrowed by Grabber. I wonder how many kills he has, but BB is literally sitting on stickies right now. There you go. He gets the kill.
Okay, so they do lose 1 scout, but I don't think that's going to deter Grabber and the boys. Oh, thank goodness Martin can get onto Shappy there. It was looking a bit pear-shaped and really hard to get on top of that heel target, but he finds him. They had to cost him a couple of scouts before that little awkward skirmish, and oh no, Lardox is back into the fight, and he's back out of the fight.
Yep, looks like the Polish team are going to be able to claim this mid for free. Stan's going to start sticking out of Garage as well, so they can't really move any of their forces forwards here. And it's just going to be another... Okay, nice pipe. They're only just getting this mid-cap here. And that pick onto Paparazzi could buy them time, but Martin eats a pipe to the face. And they're going to go on top of Stan here. Stan actually going down. Haunts finds that kill. 16 seconds in the dirt for him. Wanzu going down as well. Blank is the only casualty. And Bonkers now is bombing into Martin, and he gets the kill.
He does get the kill. Where is Grabber and everybody else? I see some people really holding forward. Maybe they're capping the point. I don't know, but it just seems a bit weird to see some of these players so far away from their team.
Yeah, it's very strange there. I think the combo should have just finished capping out mid and then gone for that stalemate in second, but as a result, we're now in this weird situation where Mandem actually have the mid, but Uber managed for Grabber, so he does not really care too much. They're going to be looking to not use this Uber in towards mid. I think Grabber's going to start baiting here. Haunts in behind.
Yeah, they want to go for the back cap play. It did work really well last time. Gifted them around. Yeah, they brought back everybody, and you know it's the correct play. If you're playing the defending team, you've got 2 rounds up. You need to play to not lose rather than play to win.
Bonkers now collecting that health pack. They're going to be able to make their way into Garage and to this left-hand side of Yard as well. And Haunts is on Z trying to spam out here. Just going to be buying a little bit of time. And the rest of Mandem have actually posted up on right Yard. But when you're posted up on right Yard, you're open to this pincer maneuver, which is exactly what's happening. And Martin actually used that as Uber charge, and now it's just really awkward. They're just stuck in between a rock and a hard place here. In second, Shappy actually going down as the Uber fades, and Martin, he's got the pulse now of his own, but he's not as good as Grabber, so he just dies immediately here. And now they're going to be on to this last point as well. No one's up for 5 seconds, so it's going to be another round.
Another Lord of the Rings quote for you there. It's quite famous, but you shall not pass! Says the rest of the Polish squad to poor Martin. It was kind of funny to see all of them just slip past, like, yes, you can go in, you can go in. No, not you, sir. You get back here.
As we actually have the scoreline of 4-1 here. The Polish team seems to be running away with it, but anything can happen. Still 13 minutes remaining. We can see if Mandem could pull it together here as we head into another mid-fight.
Oh, is it 5-0 already in the minds of Mandem? It's 13 minutes left, but they're going to have to dig deep. I think this is the turning tide for their tilt on this midpoint. So it's already going badly with Blank going down. Lardox is holding the high ground nicely. Shappy's got a nice flank prepared. Can't get the pipes to follow up there. Will go down, but his team is playing off the damage, and they're actually looking quite happy. Bonkers, you're not humouring the idea of going back in, are you?
Okay. Let's see what's going to happen here. Wanzu is just he's
hanging out.
He's chilling out, doing his thing. But Grabber and Bonkers in the wrong side of the map is not going to be too good for the side of for the Polish team. Grabber's now he's left
behind.
his soldier. He was behind. He left his soldier. He's going to be running away now. He links up with his team, gets out. They're going to trade Ubers, it looks
they
like.
actually forced them first, so they've got a much better Uber out of the Polish team, and they're actually picking off these players from the corners as well. Wanzu's found his targets.
Oh, this is awful. Well played from Grabber to get out of that, to be fair.
Okay, things have calmed down, and strangely both teams come out relatively unscathed. I mean, they lose a few here and there, but they just kind of... It's almost like a peace agreement. They go back to their halves of the map and they'll be like, can we have our prisoners? Yes, you can have your prisoners. Can we have ours? Yes.
I think that now that this time, MANDEM are going to start playing a little bit more risky. They have to if they want to get 3 rounds back on the board and bring it to at least a golden cap, so...
Oh, I hear you loud and clear, Lucky. I'll get the Kritzkrieg out of its little cabinet.
There it feels like that time.
I've blown the dust off it. We're ready, sir. The Kritzkrieg should be any second now.
Okay, they've got BB Sniper. They want to slow this down. They want to play those angles with the BB Sniper. They're going to now try and take this right-hand side yard and get some space here. Horn's actually lagging here, so he's just going to die in a corner, unfortunately. So they lose 2. Grabber getting weaker as well. Grabber, he drops.
No.
You deserve to drop that Uber, sir. Way too cocky out in the yard. Holding on to it for way too long. BB here, super weak as well, and Paparazzi on 9 HP. So these remaining players don't have much HP to their names, and Bonkers manages to go down here. Lardock's getting fragged as well.
This isn't fair. They should be winning. They were like, what's he even doing? Oh my god, BB Sniper. I mean, it would be Shappy, of all people, as well, to take the headshot. Oh, it wasn't a headshot, but it was a body shot. That's even worse.
It was just a dink dead.
Yeah. Why are you even running a sniper, he probably thinking?
Pause is down.
That's got to be a tactical pause.
Alright, let's play Beta's new game show. What happens next?
Does it have theme music?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Alright, okay. So, I have a sniper. I have... God, everybody's all over the place. What's going on?
Alright, run it down. What's happening from here?
Grabber's dead, so Grabber has to come back to his team. His team has to link back up with him, and it's of the utmost importance because the enemy team has a medic.
Yes.
Alright, so BB is running sniper. That's really their only sort of playmaker during all this because Bonkers is dead. They can play the heal advantage. I don't know where blue team are exactly, but okay. Well, Lardox is just not there. Haunts is okay. They're in different continents of the map right now, so I don't think there's any sort of point of predicting this. It's just like saying yes, the players are in the place and they are waiting.
All right, so here's the play, right? The rest of MANDEM are gonna start regrouping. They're gonna take right yard, and then they're going to go into left yard.
I feel like I've switched over to the weather channel.
Yes, they're gonna go into lunchbox, and they're gonna push with their ad.
Oh right, we do have the sunshine and the cloud as well. We have a high chance of perspiration going towards the ramp room, but if you watch out for this lower area here, that's going to get some nasty thunderclouds coming out from the scouts.
Precipitation in the form of soldiers.
But who's the real disaster? Who's the hurricane in this match server so far, Lucky? Who's just been an absolute beast? And I'm going to put a muzzle on you. You can't say Bonkers. Okay,
I think that Haunts has been playing pretty well this map so far. I mean, that backcap won them around, literally. So, the only round that they have on the board, he's managed to get. But, also, you got to hand Paparazzi, man. He's just been killing everyone.
Well, my prediction has come true. Everyone's gone to their place on the map, and they have waited. I am a true TF2 savant.
You really are. Everyone's now holding in left and garage. Okay, Shappy's died to another sniper.
What is it? What is it about this? Like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I am Magneto. I can attract metal.
Okay, well. There is another Magneto. Lardox, he's just got the Uber popped onto him. He wants to go on top of Grabber. It's a very smart and clean Uber, and look at the frags falling too. Paparazzi, I feel like I've seen him hide in a random corner when things go sour too many times now, but I've not seen him kill 6 people back to back.
Paparazzi, what's the plan, my guy?
Block second point at the very last second. He's doing that. He loses all of his shot.
He gets 1v1 and loses. But it looks like we've got soldier duels on mid, on last even, not mid. And we've got the last push trying to happen right now, but it's very split up. It's a slight victory for MANDEM. Only just here, Grabber and Stan desperately trying to defend the point. Cam blanking Grabber's nuclear with the porcelain, but Stan going down right at the end. It's going to be 4-2 as the scoreline, so this is looking good for a MANDEM comeback.
It's alright. I'm going to say the word. I'm going to put the money in the jar because if we say it too much, mathematically, it's possible.
There was a pause asked for right at the end of that round from Martin. So it was MANDEM who asked for the pause here. It could be a tactical one, talking about the next mid-fight and what they want to do going into it here. Turbo, definitely an opportunity.
Well, Stan's rolling up high ground. Shappy's just tanked a sticky. Oh wow, very trusting that he would pick up that health pack before the sticky goes off, and they go aggressive over on the Polish squad instead. This is a card play that they did not see coming. Bonkers goes down almost immediately though, and the scouts play across the point. Horns is trying to go for a mean spoon hero play, goes for the just the regular shoot ground get kill instead, and it's a Demoman versus a scout matchup. One's got a medic.
Yes, my guy. He's manned up and he's going for it. He just needs to kill Martin. And Martin's super weak.
He's 10
around
HP.
the corner. Play the walls, Martin. Unfortunately, Martin does go down there. BB gets super weak as well.
Mission
and he
accomplished.
misses the sticky.
He gets out as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I think it's really hard for Shappy to even win that.
I think the only thing you can start doing is sticking the ground where your medic sits, and then hope.
Pray he walks in range.
Yeah, basically. I mean, they could. You know, you're in Granary. You're in like solitary, tiny, confined spaces. You can definitely do that.
Indeed. Now, it looks like that tactical pause did kind of work out. They had a much better mid than they've had previously, but still didn't work out for them in the end. Martin dying. It's going to be 20% ad here for Grabber. No crits Kriegs in sight though, Turbo, sadly.
Oh, Haunts, he's trying to get in the spot, but fluffs it a bit, doesn't have time now to get back. Gets a crossbow though, so maybe there is a redemption arc.
Maybe indeed. Haunts now just going to be jumping, trying to find an edge bug, it looks like.
Oh, that's not... Those aren't banned, are they?
I don't think so anymore.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Alright, so blue team surprisingly pressured back into their second point, losing frags, losing players.
Oh no, the Lou Shappy.
The Lou Shappy again, very, very shocking. I don't... usually an Uber comes out before you lose a demo man. I don't know how he died.
Okay, but this trade is risk. This trade is very risky here for the blue team. They have no spam classes for the post Uber to help defend this point. All the players that are retreating out here, so Paparazzi is just going to be running in, taking that 1v1 with Blank. He's more than confident, actually went down with the assistance from 1-2 there, but
playing it very safe.
Respawn.
They're playing it very safe, and despite playing it safe, they still lose out to Lardox, who just happens to have impeccable timing in this instance, and Bonkers maybe could delay things on this second point, but yeah, they played it safe over on the Polish squad, and they still got stung.
Bonkin still trying to fight that point, just gets pugged down there by Shappy as well. So he goes down here. It looks like that MANDEM are going to be able to push into yard. They've claimed themselves the 7 points from the map. So let's see what they can do with the space that they've been provided here. Trying to make their way in towards mid. They'll see 1-2 on the high ground. Grabber's going to be sitting defensively in the corner. Martin with a large Uber ad, and BB trying to be a rat in the backlines. He's going to die.
Well, exterminated. So Bonkers walking in, but again I think there's more of a kind of timer is involved for the Polish squad. I'm seeing their gameplay is like they don't really mind conceding a lot of things as long as it wastes times and it's a bit safer, so they'll just keep delaying as the game for Poland.
They're making their way in further and deeper into enemy red territory with fewer and fewer players as they lose Blank. Martin goes weak. Looks like they're maybe going to lose Lardox as well here. And they do. He does kill off Bonkers before going down here. But they're not going to be able to find anything else. It's going to be 2-1 in terms of picks. And the Polish team are itching to get some aggression going here.
I wouldn't really call this parking the bus, but it's more like the bus is going down some gears. You know, it was hitting 4th gear, but now we've gone back to 2nd gear. We're just really
Shappy
going
needs
down.
saving. Martin with the save. Really nice flash there from Martin to keep Shappy alive. That's going to buy them a pick onto BB, which is the pick you want, let's face it. He's been playing out his goddamn mind. 1-2 now on the flank as well. Manages to pick up Puaskari, so it's 1 pick apiece. And they're just toing and throwing here with the damage, but there's so much damage being dealt. All these DM lords in the server, it's hurting my brain.
Oh, they actually do get Stan in the little suicidal play. Oh, yeah, he's got the flank. He's got it killed out for the medic. Martin Grabber's gone down, though, to Lardax. And 1-0, it just hits him clean in the face. Shappy, what happened there, buddy?
I felt so bad for Shappy. Like, it was like, I need pipes desperately. Just whips up the pickaxe, smacks him in the mouth. Get on the floor, boy.
Oh no. Well, it's just time ticking away. It's they're feeling the squeeze ever more. And it's Granary. You can really dig your heels in if you want to, and I think they want to.
Do indeed. I almost heard like the Minecraft Steve oof in my head.
Oof.
Yep. Anyway, they've 5 players into MANDEM now. I'm not sure what they're doing because they're going to lose everyone.
Oh no, Martin's gone down, yeah.
Everyone's died. Okay.
Pascari, this is going to have to be the greatest... Okay, never mind.
I think with 3 minutes left on the clock, they were feeling the pressure and thought they needed to go for something here.
Yeah,
which they kind of did, but they did it stupidly.
It's Granary Meat Grinder, and it's just too difficult, I think. Oh.
We'll see. Looks like they're going to cap up this midpoint on the side of the Polish team. This game is still very much active, and they only have 3 players on mid right now. They're going to be bombing in for the pick onto Grabber. Grabber has to surf all the way back here. Good bomb in from Shappy. Gets all the space. They kill Stan. Paparazzi now in the corner. Gets bombed and dies. Good damage from MANDEM here. Bonker's now isolated, so let's see if they can pick him up as well. And they do. It's going to be 4 picks for MANDEM.
Hello YouTube, if you're watching this, if this is a nice little comeback we're going to see, this is the bit that would kind of start the journey for them. They have to go into last. They have an overcharge to deal with, but they're just focusing on players instead, ignoring poor Grabber. They actually... Oh,
They get the last point as well during all of that. They played so passively. Hello YouTube, we're doing it, boys.
Oh my god, that spoon came in from a mile away. Ronaldo on the ball gets the Uber drop. Holy god, they're back in this game. 2 minutes remaining, Turbo.
Matter, take my energy. Take my energy. I'm forgetting names of teams here. I'm losing my goddamn mind. They must be electric here on the blue squad. They've already got Shappy rolling out, setting up that early pressure. It's fast gears for one team, and it's really hard. They actually get the pick for with Lardax. Shappy's following up with some kills as well. He does go down.
Lardax.
It's looking too suicidal though for my liking. They need to be a sweeping gameplay from poor MANDEM. Oh no.
Lardox tried to get him behind and get that pick onto Grabber. That's all they needed in that last mid-fight. If he had found that rocket, he would have got the medic, but unfortunately whiffs it. And now Grabber's still alive. It looks like MANDEM now on this midpoint here. They don't want to give up any ground whatsoever. 1 minute 30 to break this stalemate into yard and make it all the way through second into last.
I can't believe, but I think I need another mean spoon. That's the only thing that can really bail them out of this scenario, I think, and it's going to be extremely hard. So they're just slow pushing it instead. They're just trying to manhandle their way, get the cheeky picks where they can, and there's just too much, and they've got making the wrong hero plays. People are going in behind. They go on top of Grabber. They pops off his Uber. He's just trying to solidify things where he can, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough and just slow.
Looks like they are managing to get their players in though. It's good damage. They got on the 1-2 here inside the lobby as well. 1 minute remaining. They need to get some cap time down, but they do have the pick onto Stan, so it's going to buy them quite a lot of space on this second point, but they're slowing things down once again. They do not have time.
40 seconds left, and they still have a second point to grab. I think they have to just commit in and just start hoping they grind. They go for the little lunchbox room instead. They think this is their avenue that they're going to make that comeback. They're already pre-spamming it here on the Polish squad. We're going in, boys. Bite the pillow.
Oh.
They actually get 2 opening picks on, and one of them is Stan. That's an amazing start out. They're capping second point. 19 seconds left. There's plenty of time to still do this. They're trying to focus these soldiers. Uber has entered the mix. They've popped off. They've killed off Shappy. 10 seconds left. They have to retreat back. They've got their own Uber charge bubbling away, but they're losing players. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow. Right at the end. Nail-biting stuff. GG is the call. Both teams are going to be heading away from this one feeling pretty good, I think. But the Polish team feeling that much better. Only 1 round in it for this grand finals of Division 1. The Polish team are going to be your champions and making their way into Prem next season.
Yes, a big commiserations and congratulations to GORNICZO, HUTNICZA, ORKIESTRA Denta.
Nailed it.
Thank you. I'm here all week. Well, I'm not.
Yeah,
it's the end of the season, but
it's...
good. Still, though, very good gameplay coming out from MANDEM. That was entertaining. That was really nice. And you thought they were cracked. You thought they were going to, walk away with it. The Polish team.
I had faith in them. I think that was just a good game, honestly. Both teams had really, really good moments, and both teams had really, really bad moments at the same time. I think the pressure was really on for this game. Big congratulations to the Polish team for a huge victory here, being at MANDEM, who are the clear favourites at the start of the season. So it's not to show that the start of the season is all that you make it out to be, but I feel like they played really well. Of course, we could look at logs as well.
Yes, let's do. It's tradition at this point, I have to always end my sentences with a nice log. All right. So what I'm seeing here is a differential in our medics' deaths. So one team has more, one team has less. Medic is the lifeblood of a team, so it's probably informed to say that they were just playing overall better over on the Polish squad.
Yeah, I think Grab did a really good job of surviving the mid-fights once again. Massive shout-outs to Paparazzi for that game. Holy God, he put in the work with 30 kills. But once again, Shappy, 10.6k damage, top damage on the server. That man really did try his best in that game. He played so well.
But then the game 1 look started following him again and just ended up going down for just random reasons. He was the first one to die in meat grinder exchanges, which should really never happen. There was points where he was just getting sniped at random places. Then he just had random players placed at his feet as well. Poor man.
Poor man indeed. I think that as well. I think Blank had surprisingly a shocker of a game. Only got 13 kills that game, but he was mostly in retreat mode for most of the game as well, unfortunately. He took some 1v1s with soldiers, which didn't end up going well. Bonkers kind of slid off towards the end as well with only 14 kills to his name. But I think they didn't play too bad anyway. So, yeah. I think each player in the server had their highlight in this match.
Oh, there's a massive all grand final log combined by your very own Rahmed. So, wow, this feels almost kind of cruel because now we really get to pick on the people who didn't and how judge their entire performance and scope. But
Crabber got 13 kills across the grand final.
A lot of them were bust kills as well. I told you we needed a counter for that bust.
That's a lot of kills to have as a medic.
You sound inspired there, Lucky.
I am. It's almost as if he equipped the syringe gun and just went absolutely ham.
Please don't do that.
No, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this game, please don't.
Yeah, stop right there. All right.
Yep.
Whew. Boys, I guess we have to start winding things down. I guess it's per tradition that we usually on the grand final start getting people in for interviews, and
Speaking of which,
already muscled straight in. We do welcome in Wanzu from. Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time, and then we're gonna not say the team name anymore. All right, Wanzu, you correct me if I say this wrong, but all right. Okay. Congratulations to GORNICZO, HUTNICZA, ORKIESTRA
Yeah.
ORKIESTRA Denta.
Yes, that's exactly how you say it, actually.
That is nowhere near. I must have stammered like 7 times doing all that, but it's difficult. It's a banging song, though. It's a banging song. Where did you even?
Thanks.
Who even found this video?
Actually, we were like 12 guys on summer vacations in close to the sea, and we were chilling there with Supra, Maui, the guys you probably know. And apparently someone brought this song, and we just started listening to it, and we are just doing pa-pa-ra-ra-ra.
Amazing. Okay, so I mean, walk me through the grand final. Let's take it one map at a time. So you go through map 1. How are you feeling? Are you feeling like this is going to be easy peasy? It's your map, it's process, or did you think you were going to have it difficult from the start?
I mean, we didn't underestimate our opponents, so I guess we were just prepared for everything. We knew it will be a close game, actually, so we tried to keep calm and just play our best. That's all for like all maps. We just failed Sunshine so hard.
Grabber, how did you feel when you saw the map picks come out for the team? Did you feel like quite confident, or did you feel like, oh no, it's Sunshine, not that map?
I have a bad FPS on Sunshine, so definitely not a fan, but otherwise it's pretty normal, I guess.
Okay, fair play. So, Grabber, there was a lot of bust kills going on in that game. Is this like an average day in the office for you, or was this grand final particularly hands-on for you?
It's just, shooting random arrow and it hits someone and you get a kill.
All right. So, Wanzu, I'm going to take it back to you. On that second map where things were coming down to the wire, there was a bit of almost like a mini comeback involved for both teams in a way. And what was the reaction in a game when you lose? Like, did you guys pick yourself back up? Did you dust yourselves off? Or was it quite dire in the comms for a moment there?
It wasn't dire, maybe for like a second, but we knew that we were failing a lot as a combo because we just didn't stick around together. And after like there was 1 minute left, we just said fuck it, let's just go. And after the map, we just said to ourselves that we should just dust off, just chill. Let's try win Granary, and we were pretty confident about Granary. So I guess we were still hoping that we'll win Granary. So.
All right, Grabber. Now you've been around for a long time. You've spearheaded a lot of teams as well, and I know you're already probably analysing a little bit of your gameplay that you played tonight. Despite winning, is there any sort of mistakes that you were like thinking, "Oh, I wasn't too pleased we made that"?
Stan is always overextending, and Paparazzi always presses W.
Oh wow! You're not even like protecting
sometimes.
the
He's
innocent.
just
You
calling
just
shots.
naming names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. Maybe
that's how it works for us. That's how it works for us. We just call what we are doing wrong, and we just like try to fix it on the other map, and it worked out on Granary.
All right, that's great to hear. So obviously, you guys winning Div 1, you're going to go straight into that Premiership division. Are we going to see the same lineup going into Season 40, or is there going to be some players putting down the mouse?
We actually didn't spoke about Prem yet because we weren't sure if we're gonna win this. So like there are still no plans for Prem. But I guess if all the guys wanna stick around, then sure, why not? We'll take the Premiership spot.
All right, and thinking back to like week 1, are you guys happy with how far you've come? Did you feel like you've exceeded your expectations, or was it always expected to win this Div 1 season, Grabber?
I don't know. We kind of like, we always hang out together playing some pickups. Thank you, Maui. And we just, combined the best roster, I guess, and tried to do our best. And we didn't think about winning at all, but glad we won. Can I ask you a question, though?
You should go for it.
Yeah, where are the opponents?
Where are the opponents?
Yeah, where is some representative from our
that is
opponent?
a very good question, actually. Where is the representation? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. They're probably already on the STV right now, Grabber, going through what they can do better next time. They're diligent.
Habib is already map talking them.
Yeah,
Twitch chat is the answer, by the way. They're in Twitch chat.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. It was a really nice game, though.
Yeah, that's the real post-interview right there in the Twitch chat. Now, Loki, have you got any smart questions back there for our 2 Polish representatives?
Grabber, why do you like the head so much?
The head, the solemn wow.
Yeah, the solemn vow. I mean, I saw you run. Dude, I love you, man. Like, I idolize you now.
You've inspired a very poor, unfortunate medic generation now that's probably going to pull that weapon out more than it needs to be.
I mean, you got 13 kills collectively across the grand finals, which is more kills than I got across the entire season. I mean, it's not even a question, it's just a statement at this point.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I started playing with the Solemn WoW like this week, and actually I think it's like it gives a lot when it comes to the kills because you see the HP and you know who to shoot. So shout out to the Solemn WoW creator and Uber. So maybe not the meta anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when it was originally put in and it was added, well, back to the whitelist, it seemed to be like super overpowered. You just see everyone's health and make perfect calls, but yeah, excellent weapon. I'm sure that you guys are feeling ecstatic, and you've already talked about how you might do Prem next season. If you don't do Prem, any plans on the cards, do you think? Either of you?
If there are no plans for Prem, I guess we'll just make some shuffles in the roster and just take in the fun, probably.
Most likely. I mean, if you keep bonkers, I'm sure you won't be allowed to play in Div 1 ever again. That man played out of his goddamn mind. Well, who's your MVP, though, on the enemy team, though, for that game? Who do you think?
On enemy team?
Yes.
I actually can't speak names because I didn't focus at all on who's doing what exactly. So
wow.
I just know their scouts were doing really good. Shappy was always like staying somewhere too behind, maybe. He wasn't following up their scouts as much, and I'm sorry to say that, but I didn't feel their soldiers at all.
How did the question about who was the most valued player turning into like a burning roast of the entire team and
I just went too far, sorry.
Well, I guess by elimination that leaves the soldiers, so good job, soldiers, over on MANDEM. Like, he did well.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, absolutely roasted. I've not got any intelligent questions because my brain is absolutely fried.
All right, I guess we'll end off with their favourite topic then. We'll talk about the MVP for their team. Who on your squad, Grabber, are you going to give all the praise to?
On our squad? Oh man, I don't know. I think everyone is the best player in Div 1 on selected class, and I cannot pick the MVP. Maybe Vonshu because he called a lot, maybe. I don't know.
From me personally, I just want to say that Bibi is the new talent who's gonna beat some people in Prem. I promise you that.
We've got it. We've got it on camera now, locked in. Let's see. Prem debut of the season. Winner.
Probably. If the Prem happens, I'm pretty sure Bibi is gonna be a Premiership debut next season.
All right, boys, you've been magical and wonderful in this interview process. So that means I'm going to give you the soapbox. You can stand up and sing anything, tell anything, say anything in reason. We Too Fizz up there. He's floating. He will ban your ass. So, in theory, the floor is yours. We're going to start with Grabber.
The shoutouts, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to shout out every member of our team. So Matzer, Erpek, Xio, the squad that played today, Sam, and Wonder as well, who left. And shout out to the Polish community, shout out to the casters, to the opponents, the usual, and shout out to Vonshu.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start from our team. Shout out to our guys who just played amazingly through whole season. Shout out to everyone who was marking for us anytime. Shout out to Matzer, who's been actually like half season our main scout, but he had to step down. Shout out to Maui for creating pickups. Shout out to Teamfortress.tv for doing this beloved stream. And I just want to say one thing. GORNICZO, HUTNICZO, ORKIESTRA denta. Robi nam papararara.
Shout out to Drożdżes, guys.
Okay, everybody, Google that name right now, that team name. It's a fucking banging song. All right, so whilst you're already fucking Slavic dancing your tits off in the background, let's end our little cast. Boys, it's been a pleasure. It's been it's been great. It's been your Div 1 Grand Finals. It was GORNICZO. Fuck. I'm gonna say this for the life.
Just repeat after me.
No, I got it. GORNICZO, HUTNICZO, ORKIESTRA denta.
Yes,
all your
exactly.
champions.
Very close.
and good show from MANDEM as well, and a good show from Lucky. who didn't get a shout out. I'm going to quickly give him a shout out before we close out.
Wow. Thank you for handing that over. Thanks to the teams. I really need to go for a drink with you guys at some point. It sounds hilarious. But big shout outs to both teams for an amazing game. Shout outs to the Polish team specifically for being such good sports and coming in here and not shit talking too much, because we get a lot of that in interviews. But I have to also do a little bit of a plug as well. Thanks to Rahmed for everything that he's done, producing the season and his big 144 hertz mega stream that he puts on for everyone, so thanks for that. And also we have Poland winning Div 1, but also I need to plug Poland versus Russia Highlander Nations Cup on this Sunday. Do not miss that game, it should be pretty good.
All right, banging. Okay, so this has been Team Fortress TV, it's been TurboTabs, it's been Grabber, Wanzu, Lucky, Rahmed, everybody has been here from Twitch chat as well. And if you're on YouTube, hi YouTube. Thanks for tuning in for the games. We'll see you for another season of TF2 in our 6v6 division. Season 40. How exciting. See you then.